Pop open. Pop open this shit. Yeah. You ever, like, put your phone on a charger or some shit, but that's, like, not where you normally put it? And you go to reach for your phone just out of instinctive boredom, and you freak out for a millisecond because you're like, oh no, it's not there?
I mean, every now and again, I'll go to try to charge my phone and start trying to shove it into the headphone jack slot and be like, why isn't this working? What's wrong? So I get the vibe.
I just imagine you sitting there, like, in the middle of the day, perfectly adequate light, and just shoving it straight into the headphone jack slot, just like, square peg, round hole situation.
Alright, I'll start the mission, and then swap over to the stream actually being here, so that we're not, like, sitting in the menu for 20 minutes.
That is an option, but the menu is where all the funnies happen.
Sometimes. It's where we have it be very... This is not the mission we were on.
This is...
No, it's very much the mission we were on.
This is a mission.
There's two missions that start like this.
Yeah, no, this is the one we were on that you fucking died during.
Don't worry about it.
Firefox killed Snopsy.
Firefox did not kill me. Okay. Yo! Hey, the chat thing still works. I didn't break it. Awesome.
Be advised, Kilo 33
Hello.
Kilo 34. Your current LZ is too hot. Roger that. Dot, stand by to receive and respond.
Yes, Commander.
I want to work on my audio setup more, because, like, I feel like I do clapping or other noises and they aren't picked up by my mic, and it makes me sad.
My efforts to obtain relevant data on enemy forces have been unsuccessful. However, current defensive forces are insufficient.
Like the way that my mic worked,
direct intervention to help
every time I
secure
laughed,
sword base.
it would count it as all noise, and it would cut out every
Alright,
single
people.
bit of it, so
We're
every time I
stuck with that
laughed,
ship
it
for the
went
time
into, like, the
being.
shadow.
Let's focus on the hard troopers ahead.
You just hear, like, the upbeat of a giggle, and you're just like, nope.
Let's move, Lieutenant.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Tully. I have to be over to the left so that chat can exist.
Yeah, chat must exist. This took up like
it's
30
down
minutes of
now.
last night.
It did take a while, but also it's down that far. Like I made the window for chat that far down, solely in case suddenly chat explodes at any given point, so that I don't have to fucking go through the process of making a new goddamn overlay every time.
Ow. Hey, the Phantom's hurt.
I would assume. I never lower myself a few inches, but then I'll be tiny. I look like a tiny boy.
Tiny man.
You've got enemy contact, Spartans.
We will be talking heads.
I was big chilling with a Marine, and then suddenly he got blown up by the Phantom, and then I got blown up by the Phantom.
I watched a Marine teabag. Dude, he's gonna get banned from Apex Legends games.
Oh, fuck. No, 343, don't ban him. It was his own teammate. Bro, that's the dumbest shit. Like...
That was the thing that I'm surprised that got into my circles. Like, I don't fucking follow esports at all.
I, like, barely follow esports, and I definitely don't follow Apex. Because I played that shit once or twice. And, yeah, I was like, bro, that's so fucking dumb.
That was straight wacky. Goofy even. zone.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna say, for as long as Racoon is here, maybe refer to him as his full name. and not the, you know.
Just call me Rack if you want to do it short. Not the other side.
Yes, that is a Pope hat.
I am Pope. I am Pope Racoon.
Thank you, Tolly.
Yeah, I understand why it happens, but goddamn, does that happen so often? Or some.
I really want to blame you for that, because that is totally your fault for misspelling the fucking word.
It's yeah, like, I don't know, raccoon eggs existed, and people did it, so.
You really are just like raccoon eggs if you was normal.
Go on the shoot. Over.
I'm Raccoon Eggs if he uploaded in the past 3 years. Alright, I will not destroy the Wraiths this time. Hey, wait, the Wraith is destroyed.
Yeah, no, it's not. Guess what? Nothing to report. It has no gun. we have a Wraith, but it's fucking broken.
Fantastic. Oh, but it has a turret. This is all we need.
See, I did the thing where you can destroy both raids, but I did it a little wrong, and so we get a wraith, but it's not a wraith anymore.
I don't think they'll drive it. I will drive this into battle, or I'll ride with you. I'll ride with you. I feel like this is safer. In absolutely no way, shape, or form.
It'll be okay.
Oh no, it's the Firefox zone. We're getting into it.
Well, this time, okay, so awesome.
Yeah, yeah, I'm working it. Yep, yep.
Very cool. I was gonna say, well, this time, there's no storm happening outside, so I shouldn't have my power randomly cut out.
Hopefully.
I forget that Halo Reach Warthogs are very top heavy, and they will flip vertically and like almost never horizontally.
I forget what that like smaller wraith is called.
Ouchie, wowzers.
Yeah, there's a little bit of ouchies happening. Hey, look, a revenant.
Can I say, legendary difficulty in Halo Reach, your health is doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Here, we'll try to avoid the revenant problem we have here. Just move up from this way.
Oh yeah, I forgot these overheat too. Fuck.
Wait, what overheats?
The Warhawk turret.
It does?
Yeah.
I don't think it does. It not do that in multiplayer? I guess it's just it doesn't overheat that long.
I don't know. I don't remember it all, and I played a lot of this game. But then again, I don't think I played that much of the Warhawk gameplay. I get stuck. Fuck, I got stuck.
We're great at Halo.
Fantastic, even. Hey, look, it spawned us closer this time.
I'm not doing a model for when I have other people on so that it's more consistent. Because I like the way it looks when everybody has like the same art. I wish there were more DMRs over here.
Well, they're alien DMRs.
This is the same. Okay, Cat's just doing her own thing.
Oh!
Ow.
Hey, look. There's a sniper over here.
I'll take that. A Jeep Wrangler is less aerodynamic than a Bulbasaur. What? fun,
I'd believe it.
fact, I guess.
Ow. Fuck.
Ah,
You die?
no. I missed a very easy sniper shot. This fucking... These fucking guys move so fast. Oh, right, they're called skirmishers. Skirmishers move like way too fast for my brain.
Wait, they're not just called jackals? Those
No,
aren't just
they're-
jackals?
Jackals are separate. They're called skirmishers.
Why the fuck do they look like jackals?
Well, they're the same species, sort of. Think of it like the difference between like a turtle and a tortoise. Visually the same, but different creatures.
There's a rocket launcher on the second floor.
Family of, like the same starting point, I guess. I don't know. They share a common relative. We'll say that.
Do you want rocket launcher?
Spartans, this is sword control.
Sure.
Thought you could use
Second
local
floor.
firepower.
Okay.
Take that hog, see.
I jumped out of the window specifically to find rocket launcher. If you'd like to.
It is this way. Am I retarded?
Their return in Infinite was most unwelcome. That I feel like in Infinite they didn't even like pose that much of a threat.
I lied about second floor, it is third floor. I cannot count. This right
Yeah, I mean,
here, this is a
technically-
rocket launcher.
Technically in the UK you'd be right, because they call the first floor ground floor, and then the second floor first floor. Even though technically speaking the ground floor, as stated with the fact that they call it ground floor, is the first floor. Because you say the word floor, and if you're counting in totality, a ground floor would constitute as the first one, because you said it first. But whatever. I could have like a 30-minute argument with my British friend as to why. I think I did actually, about why calling it the ground floor and first floor are the same. Because first is just a count in a total. But, you know. He's very stricken to his old man British ways.
You know, that's fair. Where'd Cat go? Did you just leave?
Spartan team, what's the ETA on that AA gun?
On our way now.
What's that? What's the ETA? Doesn't give him an ETA. We're going there now. Don't worry.
Are we just leaving our old Warhog?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I kind of understand it because I do programming, right? So like, whenever something exists, the starting number is 0 for us instead of 1 for a majority of programming.
But buildings aren't programming.
That is true.
We're not organizing a fucking matrix. This isn't math. If
That
you put
is-
up one finger, you don't call it the ground finger, and then
Yeah.
it's either your first or your index. But even then, like, index finger is describing, you know, a different thing, I guess. You know, it's like an adjective that means something. Okay, there we go. It whip.
Go flip.
Shoot the ghost. There you go.
I did it. Yeah, I think it's just the, like, conversation about what is 0? Like, how do you describe 0? So that ground would be considered 0?
Well, the issue that I have with that is that they're not describing 0, they're describing a floor. A floor is something that is just there. Like, you have the floor beneath you, it's say in the house, and then the floor above you, which would be the next floor in this counting of floors, because we describe a floor very uniformly. We don't say that a floor can be empty. Actually, I guess we can.
Yeah,
but
because, like,
strictly in a counting sense, not in a amount of stuff that this floor contains kind of empty. But,
I almost just blasted Cat to death.
You don't say that this, like, a single-story building has no floors. It has one floor, the ground floor, you know, whatever the fuck.
Yep.
It has no additional floors. I mean, if you want to go, it's like the set of, like, how many additional, then yeah. If there's an additional that's being left out, then the first additional floor, the second additional floor. But,
yeah,
you know, we're not adding the word. The British forgot the word add.
Yeah, I kind of think that's what they're going by, because it's like, okay, you have a building.
Because I can sort of get in the sense of, like, the floor, because it's always there, because, you know, we live on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, the construction part of the process, even if you do fill in a floor with whatever material, you're not constructing this thing that didn't used to exist at all. So maybe that's where it comes from. But when I was talking to my friend in the UK, that is not how he was trying to defend it. He was trying to defend it in the sense of counting numbers, which didn't make any sense.
Yeah, I would definitely say that it is more or less a thing of, if a building exists, it obviously has the base floor, and then past that it is just whatever number of floors additional to that.
Yeah.
Which is why then they had to come up with, like, basement instead of a -1.
Yeah.
Which, if I ever have a house with a basement, that's what I'm going to call the basement now.
That would be the programmer's floor.
Yeah.
The negative first floor. I guess that would also work in the sense of, like, if you are tackling it as a programming thing, the basement would, if you would have to start at 0 somewhere, the ground floor would be 0, because then you're going into the ground.
Yeah.
So that would be a negative, like,
Yeah,
surface.
I feel like that's also why they call it ground floor, is because this is the ground. The ground exists. We just kind of put flooring on the ground.
Yeah, it makes more sense if you take it as a, like, constructing additional or removing, but, like, in the sense of counting, which is like, I think the way that Americans do it is, you know, we count, we like counting.
Yeah.
We like the total amount of things. That's why, like, have you ever seen, it's like, if you...
Backwards. There's second...
There's like a post where it was like, if you go like working out 4 days a week, how many weeks will you work out in a month? And then, like, that number is, like, weird. And then it's like, or no, because you can't do, like, 4 times every week.
What happens if we go this way?
Specific subset of day. I don't know. It's weird. Numbers are dumb.
Oh, is that just where we were previously? Yeah, that was.
Yeah, we got to go back into the base. I forget the post specifically, but it was like a really long, like, 2 people.
Hi, Cat.
It as a different way of counting numbers, and so just really long. post of 2 dudes being like, well, actually,
Yeah, well, then that comes down to the kind of thing where it's like, okay, how many weeks have you been, like, doing this thing? And, well, technically, you've been, if you take each day as, like, each day that you do a thing as one day, then sure. But also you can basically be like, oh, I did this thing for, like, 2 hours this one day. So I have 2 hours.
I'm starting to remember details of it. I don't remember exactly, but it was like, because somebody was counting the day before a period of 24 hours. Like a period of 24 hours is a day, but people still count the first day in a week as before the 24 hours have started, like the moment that it strikes that day, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so the way that you count days, it could be 2 days. For me, I would count today and tomorrow. But but a normal person might count, or like a different person might count a period of 48 hours. So, you know, it's one of those, like, where technically speaking, you're not really wrong, regardless of the way that you do it, because it's more like colloquial what, you know, days describe specific, and then they can describe abstract, vague concepts. And
what happened to the white elite?
Ran. And we describe both the abstract idea of this period of 24 hours as a day that we can catalog, and like, that is its own thing, and then just we gave that day a number, or like a name, and then that name itself is its own thing that is a day, but not the descript 24-hour period. So, you know, I think labels don't work anymore. We need to get rid of them, actually.
Yeah, they kind of fuck everything up. I mean, that's why we have, like... that's why we have leap year, because our, like, system of counting is off by 0.25 every year. So, we have leap year
I do like that that's, like, unironically...
the way they fix it.
we can't, like, increase the amount of time per day per year. So, or we can't have like a quarter day in a year. So we're just like, you know what? We'll just add a day every 4.
Go get him, Tiger.
I'll try this again.
I'll be here waiting to revive you.
Legendary
Actually,
Hunter ain't got shit on me. Let's go.
This one's almost dead. Yeah. Grenade. Hey, nice. Killed everyone. Did you say elevator cap?
Oh, that hurts.
I love that we float in this elevator.
Flotation. Flotation activate.
Got to be 4 platforms that could take it out with a single Mac round.
You know what? I think actually, maybe I might be remembering this wrong, but I think when I was talking to my British friend about, you know, the same conundrum, which, you know, when we were talking about like buildings, and I think he might have brought up the basement query, which we should just call, like, we should pose this, you know, at a mathematician thing. So, like, the basement query of, would a basement be a negative
head upstairs and assist Emil. George, make sure he gets there.
Like the negative first floor. But I think the problem is that there's no negative floor in this equation. Like, in a programmer's world, yes. But programmers aren't real.
Oh no, in programmer's world there is no negative, like, because it's an array, right? So it starts... Yeah, it starts from 0 and then just goes. There's no negative. The only time you do a negative is when you're sorting through an array, and -1 in an array is actually the last number in the array, because it just goes back to... It's going backwards through it.
What's the absolute number of the basement? The basement is the absolute floor.
The absolute number of the basement would technically be the first floor. It's technically the first floor.
Basements are minus one
space
floor,
apart.
but they
What's the
aren't
situation,
the
Noble?
negative first floor.
Can't do this on my
Because
own.
it would be,
Need
it
another
would,
Spartan
you
up
can,
here.
I guess technically the first floor, again, if
Six,
you made
get
a
to the
floor,
top floor and
the
assist the
floor
meal.
of the earth, that would be, technically you'd be digging into the earth, making that still the floor of the earth. So the basement is actually just the ground floor again, and you've then constructed the additional housing above that. So you basically built a house in the ground. So the basement is actually the real floor, which basically means the basement is not a -1 floor. It is actually just the first floor, but under the ground. So the absolute value, the absolute value of this basement floor is still 1 or 0, depending.
No, it's 0 then.
Depending on which way we're structuring this, if we're structuring this as 0 is Earth, and we don't count Earth floor because Earth floor is always there, then yes. But if we do count Earth floor because we are counting in total, then yes.
My question is then, if you take, like, you know those houses that are, like, on stilts, right? So they're obviously not, like, on the ground. Or is that considered the first floor? And the ground is considered the ground?
The problem inherent in the way that we have to do this in I guess, math, is that people really want something to start somewhere, but like that starting point has to be like 0 or something. But the issue with the Earth is that the Earth is still a thing. Like, turn it into math, it doesn't become 0. So
Yeah.
again, it would still be like you have to construct it in a different way of wording to make it 0. So it would be additional, again, to make it like a thing that is no longer there. The 0 is, you know, nothing. Or at least a
Keep
starting
moving up,
point,
Noble
maybe.
6.
Again, 0 is weird. But
Yeah,
in order for it to work,
I
you
don't
have to-
think 0 is considered nothing. It's considered the start of a thing. Like,
depending on...
it is saying that this thing exists, right? So, like,
Yeah.
you have Johnny, he has 5 apples, right? This motherfucker eats 5 apples. How many apples does Johnny have? He has no apples, but you're still referencing the fact that the apples at one point at least existed. That's the difference between... Sorry. There was a
That'd be
grenade there.
Like, Johnny has 1 apple, and then, like, the data says
The space
you
would
would
survive another
somehow
salvo
start
from
at
that
0
Corvette.
if you then
Kill those
increase the
banshees.
amount of apples Johnny has.
Upstairs, Lieutenant.
That's,
We
I
need
think that's
those
the problem that
long swords in
we're
the
at
air.
here is, do you start at 0 or do you start at 1? Because Johnny
Well-
has 1 apple, the Earth has 1 fucking floor.
Yeah.
Do you
So,
then count up from that, or do you start at this fucking, do you just start at 1? Because Johnny has the 1 apple. It's
So-
just weird, you know, it's weird.
so that's the thing, right? I don't currently have any apples, right? However, apples still do exist, and there is the knowledge that I could, in fact, acquire an apple.
But
So-
the theory is your possession of them. It's not do apples exist, or how many apples there are total, in this context of you like counting up every apple ever.
Well, yeah,
It is.
but then,
it is your possession of apples.
well, in reference point, it's possession of apples, but like, what in fact is possession, right? So the universe, the universe, right? The Earth is inside the universe, right? So does the universe possess one Earth?
Zone's getting hotter.
What? Yeah.
Technically, we possess none of Earth. Earth possesses us.
Well, but Earth does possess 1 floor, and we have given Earth possession of additional floors. House? Maybe the Earth doesn't want
Yeah.
the house. We never have.
So I think the floor references like man-made, right? So the Earth exists. What is
No,
done?
Totally. Totally. We're if topologically speaking, you can stretch and whatever the fuck to form Earth's like top layer.
Yeah.
Form this top layer.
Yeah.
You don't like in a sense simplifying. Earth has one floor.
All right.
You dig into the floor and you then spread it apart really far to make it flat or whatever. You maneuver it. It would still be part of the floor. Earth is weird. You displace Earth to have more Earth in one spot.
I think then it depends, right, on like the total considered floor of the Earth, because eventually, if you dig enough through the Earth, you're gonna reach the other side, and then is like what I think.
How many holes does a straw have? Oh no! Real quick, Tolly. You say surface is floor 1, basement floor 1 is floor 0, basement floor 2 is -1. Actually, the basement floor 2, because it's just a deeper hole in the sense of what we're counting, that basement floor 2 would actually be the first floor, and then because you're moving the total into the floor. Like you're not constructing a negative space. It's not a vacuum. You're just moving the total down. So technically speaking, this basement floor 2 is actually floor 1, or the first floor, or floor 0 if you're a nerd.
Hey, eyeballs, that way.
Architects don't fucking think like that. Well, again, any profession you do will count this probably differently, probably.
I have a question.
I don't think architects consider negative floors. I really don't.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why is this one motherfucker named?
Well,
and why is he named Milt?
If you go up to a guy, you recruit them, and then you get to see their names.
Wait, what? How?
I mean, except for these guys. These guys are mine. It's only in like this mission and then one other mission.
You can recruit people?
Yeah, you just walk up to them and then they follow you.
Bro, I played this shit like once. What the fuck? Did I even play Halo Reach?
Maybe.
I remember the first and the last mission. I don't remember this.
That's gonna be trouble. It is actually funny. I watched a video on how many holes things have, and how people calculate how many holes are, like how many holes a thing has, and then like you have to define what a hole is.
Noble team, long swords are inbound.
I think the definition
orbital defense is standing by to take the shot.
If you could spread out a surface flat in one way, can this actually not connect and not be formed to fit this surface? Then there's a hole in it, and so a straw. Because if you were to flatten it down into a flat surface, and you could extend the edges of it, whatever, but think of it like in a top-down view. The straw has one hole.
Beautiful,
which is like, okay, cool. And you do the same thing to pants.
Nice work, by the way.
You can finagle it whatever way you want, but just think of like the top hole, which is not a hole, but like the top area where you put your butt in.
Repeat.
You take
Sounded
that
like you said
surface,
Halsey.
fold it down.
Copy that, on our way.
And then you have like just
Don't
like
need
cut
command
up
to
on
tell
your
me.
leg so that there's not like
Been
all
on
this
hers half my life.
stuff going on. But total, the amount of area that can be maneuvered into
I
itself
requested your assistance, Commander, and do not
is
need
like
a report on
the rest of
events
the
that
pants,
occur on
but
my
the
own
two parts where
doorstep.
your legs
What
go
I
into,
do
those are the
require
holes.
is a detailed account of
So
your previous
pants have 2
engagement.
holes, not 3.
George,
Because
it's
the
been
top
too long.
is
Mom.
more so just
What have
fabric
you done
folded
with
upward,
my armor?
not a
Just
hole in and of
some
itself.
Additions
You know?
I've made.
Holes are
Indeed.
weird.
Visigrad relay.
Balloons have no holes.
Its data center was home to one of my xeno-archaeologists,
Balloons have no holes?
Professor Laszlo
Yeah.
Sorvad. Perhaps you could
Where
shed
do you
some light on
insert
his
the
death.
air into?
If he was a civilian male in his
Well, think of it this
mid-60s,
way.
he died
If you
with
were
a
to open
Covenant
a
energy
balloon
sword through his abdomen.
fully,
Elites, then.
it
They
would just be like
engaged us as
a
well.
circle.
It was just
There's no holes.
just after we found your scientist's daughter, Mom. She was hiding in the
Irrelevant.
You create an
The
opening,
elites.
but it's not a
Tell
hole.
me more about them.
3.
You created an
Zealot
opening by
class.
folding it in on
One
itself.
got bias. The leader, from the looks of him.
Zealots. You're certain?
It's weird.
Their armor configuration matched.
Shield strength, too.
I gave the order not to pursue. Our primary objective was to get the station's relay back online.
Your primary objective, Commander, are you a puppet or a Spartan?
Maybe not.
There are those at ONI, myself included, who believe the Covenant dispatch elite advanced teams to hunt down artifacts of value to their religion. Survivor accounts suggests such teams are small, nimble, and almost always zealot
It wasn't a Vsauce video.
No doubt they came to the station for the abundance of ONI.
No, I think I saw the video that you're talking about, or I saw a reaction video to the video you're talking about.
Not a command directive. Even had we known, we had other more urgent matters to attend to.
I think it's by stand-up maths. It's a
Professor
British bald guy.
Sorvat's
He's
final
not
entry
Vsauce.
in his field notes made
doesn't have
reference
a
to
beard.
a latchkey discovery. Latchkey. Not a word he would use lightly. So let's hope that the data module your Lieutenant Commander stole contains it.
Actually, wait, can I...
Cat?
Can
Before
I, like,
you
post
ask,
that
I was alerted
in
at the
chat?
moment you attempted to access its
post links
contents,
in your own chat?
as I am with any
I would assume
unauthorized
so.
tap. That data is classified Tier 1. I could send you to the brig for interfering with my work.
Maybe you'd like to join her.
I'm sorry?
We're currently under emergency planetary directive, winter contingency. I'm sure you're familiar with the punishment for civilian interference with the Spartan deployment.
Are you threatening me, Commander?
Whole video.
Just making a reading suggestion, ma'am. Let's move, noble team.
Mom?
That will be all, George.
Mom.
He says ma'am, by the way. He just has an accent.
No, I like to think he said mom.
I always thought he said mom when I was a kid. I still kind of think he does. I mean, it wouldn't... I mean, it makes some...
It wouldn't be that wrong.
It's like... His parents are dead.
Well, no, didn't we discuss this, that he was part of the, like, second Spartan, so they...
He's part of the second. So, but either way, he grew up with Halsey as his mom.
Yeah.
I would like to point out that maybe John is the only one, but his parents are dead. Like, they got killed. I don't remember what, like, when, but Master Chief's parents are dead at least.
Yeah.
This is just the Vsauce whole video, but with a British person. Whereas, did Vsauce make a fucking whole video?
Of course Vsauce made a whole video.
I didn't see the Vsauce whole video, I'm sorry.
Crowded up here, Cat.
Then we're closing in.
Hey Vsauce, Michael here. I'm here to talk to you about my holes.
Copy that. When Cat runs an op,
Okay, so
direct
the
action is
video
always
starts with him
necessary.
sitting on a toilet, great.
Here, you may need these. High velocity, armor piercing.
Oh no, we're using HVAPs, they're gonna lag the server.
And they ain't cheap.
Arma problems.
I've tested it, never had lag using them.
Be in touch.
I don't know where that story came from.
Remember that one rocket launcher that just fired backwards?
The sector ahead is
Just for no
dark
reason.
electronic surveillance.
Listen, it was supposed to work like that.
So it would seem. And command wants to know.
Was it?
Hiding.
Oh, that's classified. I forgot assassinating is a thing.
It's actually one of my favorite parts of Halo Reach. There's like 4 animations for every enemy, and then, or at least like the main, like elite, you have like 4. And I think in the multiplayer, they just use the same ones for the elites.
Yeah.
But then the elites have custom ones for Spartans, and then elites also have custom ones for elites.
Perfect.
Oh, Racoon, you have a question.
What was that question?
Who do you believe is the hottest Halo character of all time?
Hottest Halo character of all... Did that one elite just oh, he went invis. Hold on. Fuck. Hottest Halo character of all time. I would probably have to say From Halo 2 Arbiter's first mission, the grunt that opens the door with you. I've always found him rather fascinating.
Is that the one that's like holding the turret?
Standing by to
Yeah.
We have eyes on multiple hostiles patrolling the settlement. Is what we're looking for, Cat?
I just remember, like, whenever I would play it, just looking at him and being like, wow, I've never been this close to a grunt before without it screaming.
So you find something that, when it sees you, doesn't run screaming is hot.
I mean, that's...
It really limits your options, doesn't it?
Yes! That explains... that explains a lot about real life, huh? Damn, I killed those 4 jackals with 1 grenade. That's pretty lit.
You've seen that one post online? It's like some 4chan green text, but it's like, be me, at like coffee shop. Forget I'm in real life. Say, white woman spotted.
Yeah, I think you sent that to me.
And I'm sitting here like,
yeah. When
what life do you live in?
I was playing Gmon. Fucking walked into the coffee shop in Dark RP and was like, white woman spotted, and then was stabbed by a homeless man.
Where are we going in this building?
I don't know, I've never been, like, I have deleted this game from my memory. So either you lead me around, or I'm just gonna go looking at things.
Fair enough.
I'm looking for a new love. I'm looking for something that doesn't run.
I have played this game like 80 times, so like I know.
I've played this game a ton, but not the campaign. I played Forge Mode a fuck ton. And like slightly multiplayer, but mostly Forge Mode.
That after this Halo, there's been almost no forklift love.
None. Let's see. Who is actually my, like, favorite, I don't know, hottest Halo character?
I played Halo Reach's story mode once on release, and I don't remember anything from this game.
Yeah, that's basically, like, same. Like, ever since I just played fucking Jenga in Forge. That's Jenga and the one where the warthog rolls down the hill.
I think
which somebody told me, but I forget it.
Campaign like twice annually. And back when Halo Reach came out, like I was constantly playing co-op or multiplayer with my friends. But usually for multiplayer, I would just play Infection. Like that was the game mode. I think even now, like it's one of my favorite game modes in like the default Halo sandbox.
Yep.
And I think they called it in Halo Reach when the game came out. They called it The Living Dead, and that was like that was my time waster when I was a kid. Was playing that. And the funny thing about that is, Infection is not in Halo Infinite, and has like is not coming like at any point this year. Which like I don't get it. That sounds like the games everyone has played on Reach. Yeah.
Yep.
Also, hello Gavin Wolf Wizard, how are you doing?
I cannot hit this motherfucker. Sniper rifles is the one thing that this lag makes me want to die with.
That's why I didn't want to play with lag.
I understand the pain. It's just sad because I love sniping, but DMRs are fine, but snipers are not.
Insane that people played games as a kid. Yeah. Also, thank you. Hello, Mario.
Yeah,
thank you, Gavin.
I think, like, to actually answer the question, I think the only person who I've ever found hot from these games is Cortana, because otherwise I don't really remember anyone else.
You straight.
Oh no, big boy is coming after me. Snopsy, please help. Snopsy, he's angry. Oh, never mind, he's dead. Alright. Yes. What do you think I came for? Sightseeing?
Technically speaking, you can't just run past the middle. You could have said the Arbiter and had the easy out.
I was going to jokingly say Barbiter, but, no, I had the easy out with what I said previously. But the local wildlife is harassing me at this point, and I dislike it.
Wow.
Yes, I did. I was getting my ass beat, and I have no shame.
Fucking, why with the... Halo 5, Kelly. No.
Yeah, never played... I didn't play Halo 4 or 5, and not Infinite.
Halo 5 Spartans have cake, but only the lady Spartans, which is really lame.
Yeah. At least Noble 6 has cake.
Noble 6 has hella cake, regardless of body type. I do want to say, though, that, like, Halo is weird. Because it's one of those games where when I was growing up, I had a crush on Cortana. Now that I'm older, I had a crush on Arbiter. Insane. It's like how, you know, when you're playing, or not playing, when you're watching SpongeBob, how when you're a child, you relate more to SpongeBob. But when you're older, you relate more to Squidward. And so it's perfect television.
I thought for a second you were going to say when you were younger you had a crush on Sandy, and when you were older you had a crush on Mr. Krabs. Sponge boy me Bob.
Spartans are the pinnacle of humanity. Of course they have ass, infinite looking at you. Totally, I mean, if you want to go that route, you could say that, like, this motherfucker, this motherfucker crushing on atoms or whatever, like, it's just another person. Because we all made up of tiny things, too. Not polygons, of course. We made up of atoms.
You don't know what I'm made of.
I do, actually. Scientifically proven. You come with nutritional facts as on your label.
Hey girl, you come with nutritional facts?
How many grams of protein in that ass?
You meet someone for the first time. You just hand them a sheet of nutritional facts about your body parts.
I'll have you know, my brain has 18 grams of fiber, and I'm not sure if that's a lot or a little for how many grams of fiber a brain's supposed to have.
Isn't your brain mostly made of fat, or does it grow due to fat? I know, like, fat is good for your brain, and is supposedly why, we as a species developed, was it sapiens? Sapiens.
Homo sapien.
Yeah, sapiens. Yeah, supposedly that's why. It's because we began eating fat. But I don't know if it's made of fat, or if that's just the energy for it. Cannibal dating lines. Ah, what are your nutrition facts? What would, like, cannibal dating be like? Like, if it's two cannibals, right? Well, if it's two cannibals and it's consensual, right? Don't you, like, who eats who? Is it, like, one person's wish to be eaten by another person? Or is it just like,
there has to be, like for cannibals, it would be like a cannibal finds somebody who wants to be eaten. not a cannibal find another cannibal. Otherwise, it would be like a fight to the death, I think.
Or would it be a cannibal finds another cannibal and you just like eat pieces of each other but not like kill? Like, because humans can regrow certain things.
Well, yeah. I feel like it's important to note here, just real quick. Oh, hi, Hexen. We're talking about normal things.
So anyways, cannibals dating.
But yeah, so cannibalmeats.com.
Fantastic.
I forget what I was gonna say, damn it. Luckily, I've been sidetracked.
I just really want to know, like, because it's gotta exist, right? Like, there's so much bullshit that it's gotta exist. And I just want to meet I just want to know, like, what's the extent?
Is oral sex considered cannibalism? Only if you consider shiz a form of life.
I mean,
it is eating.
You're technically swapping protein, and you are consuming their DNA. That was a suicide bomber.
I would say probably, yeah. In a literal sense, yes. But I guess in a what severity do you consider the crime kind of sense of does cannibalism to earn the title cannibalism have a severity? Yeah.
Well, if it's consensual, is there a severity? Is that a crime? Is there a waiver that you can do?
So it has to be meat. Do we?
Yeah, because didn't like Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly drink each other's blood? Would they be considered cannibals?
Well, apparently, according to Totally, no. So is. I guess, yeah, I forget if cannibalism is just meat, but I'm assuming maybe, yeah. That would limit the definition quite a bit.
Alright. But even if it is meat, right? How much...
Even if... What?
How much, like... There's definitely a way to be a cannibal without killing the person, right? There's, like, ethical cannibalism, right? So... Does that exist?
Government mandated limited cannibal appetites. It's like, you are only allowed to eat this much of a person.
Yeah. This just reminds me, I don't know if you ever heard of the, like, New Guinea tribe that was, like, dying out due to a brain disease, and they couldn't figure out, like, what was causing it. And it turned out that the parasite could only be transmitted from eating an infected person's brain, and that just so happened to be their tradition for burial. Yeah, that's what I remember every time I think of cannibalism, because these people were like willingly, like it was part of their culture to be cannibals, but it was actively killing them due to a parasite.
George said settlers dammed a nearby river. It was a few years back. Dry riverbed might be your best
Yeah.
bet.
Copy.
One person actually cut a piece of their ass and then cooked it, and he said it tasted like chicken. I could have gone my life without knowing that.
Yeah, so is that, I mean, that's auto-cannibalism.
Yeah. There are actual cannibals that do eat people who consent. This is a common practice. Okay.
Do they eat, like, parts of them, or just, I guess it could be both.
Honestly,
like,
the way that I think the way that cannibal dating would work, though, is I think it would be a matriarchal thing, where, you know, the dude and the lady get together, and that's what it has to be. You know, cannibals, they're very specific subsets here. They're not human. Anyway, so
Okay, clear. Let's move.
They do the. I guess no. We can make it dom and sub. The dominant person gets to eat the sub person's head, like praying mantises.
Yeah.
That's the agreement. The agreement.
I'm just wondering if there's like some kind of app. Like, is it like Tinder, but you just sign up saying body parts that you're willing to give up, or versus body parts you wish to eat? Like this guy's just like, bro, I said I eat ass, but
the app is called Meat and Fuck, but
yeah. I remember this mission. This part of this mission, for whatever reason.
You don't remember the lead up to it, just this part.
Yeah, I remember very specific parts. Funnily enough, I remember the fucking forklift. Like, I just remembered the picture from this bridge of the forklift and, like, this shit.
Because it is a multiplayer map.
Oh, that can maybe be why. But does it have the forklift in multiplayer?
Not the forklift.
I would love to just see somebody riding around in a forklift.
So many things I've never thought of, so I decided to watch this stream.
Impressive.
Yeah, bro. This stream has been full of just questions. Questions that humanity has.
Questions for future me. Ooh. You know that thing where it's like you write a letter to your future self as a child?
Yeah.
Yeah, and question about their future. It's like, hey, do you ever talk about cannibalism on one of your streams?
All clear.
Why, yes. Yes, I did. Here's the answers. Here's what we concluded.
And yes, we did also talk about the math behind what floor you would call the floor.
We also talked about holes at length.
Yes. Like, not the weird kind of holes.
No, not that kind.
Yeah, I know that you can skip the civvy defense by leaving. I do that all the time.
But I haven't experienced this to my memory, so. Oh, hey, a rocket launcher.
Technically speaking, there at least for like a lot of the game, you can sequence break everything because they expect you to sit in one area and defend it, just because like that's what the game implies. But there's no barrier stopping you from just going through it, and so if you go through it, it just loads the next set of events.
So it's just.
The entire thing.
I actually wish like more games would do that, like a nondescript choice, but it actually affected shit like New Vegas, where it's just kind of like, hey, you didn't do this thing, so here's this bad outcome.
How quirky, speaking of New Vegas. Played through that recently for nondescript reasons, you know, unimportant.
New Vegas is one of my favorite games.
I think most people herald it as one of like the best RPGs ever made.
I have never played, but like never really touched Fallout 3 because I was scared of it. Played the absolute shit out of New Vegas and Skyrim. Like, for whatever reason, those two games I just loved eternally. Could not really get into their predecessors. I actually bought Halo 3 during the Steam sale with the intention of streaming it because I've only played the first part because I was scared of the ghouls in the metro.
So yeah, for me, Fallout New Vegas I played it as a kid.
Uploading security codes to you now.
Here's the issue with me as a kid. I was very Puritan Christian boy, right?
So you didn't build the sex robot.
I did not build the sex robot. Basically, I played all the way through. Number one, I dropped the game immediately for a bit, because the first way that I went was the way that had cazadors. Actually stumble through. It's like,
yeah.
You immediately were terrifying.
Yeah.
I was like, no, hate this, worst game. And I was like, okay, I'll play it. And then I played through.
Recon Bravo.
Went through like half the game, got to the New Vegas Strip. Again, I am child at this point. I am like I'm like, I guess, old enough to know what the hanky-panky is.
Yeah.
But not enough to where I don't care. I'm at the age where I'm like, oh god, Jesus will kill me.
Oh no.
So when I was playing through it, I accidentally fucking accepted one of the fucking options to sleep with one of the people in the New Vegas Strip. And it cut to like that black screen.
Yeah.
Where like it's just a lot of moaning.
And it's just sounds.
The disc eject button and put the game back in the case and brought it to GameStop.
God fucking damn.
I brought it to GameStop and fucking I turned it in and got some store credit.
I remember like bringing Rainbow Six Vegas 2 to GameStop. I brought it up like to play with my cousin, and then he wanted to go to GameStop, and I had never like experienced selling shit at GameStop. I had just bought shit at GameStop. So I was like, oh, I'm like interested in that. They gave me like $2 for it, and I was so sad because I knew it was a bad deal because I loved that game. But I didn't say shit because I was a child and did not talk when I was a child. And yeah, I still regret that to this day.
I regret selling all of my PlayStation 3 games, and I mean all of them, every single last one. And it was like 20 or so like really good games that I still used to love, but I just don't play them anymore. And then like another like 30 that I like that were kind of shittier ones or older titles that I knew wouldn't be worth a whole lot. So that I could afford to buy Battlefield 4.
God damn.
On the, like I pre-ordered Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 4, and the issue with that, number one, is I then didn't have any of my games on the PlayStation 3. I only got the amount of money to be able to buy Battlefield 4. Which, I mean, Battlefield 4 when it came out on PlayStation 4 was fucking broken, right? Like, it sucked.
Yeah.
And I felt like, and I was like, oh, okay. But it was still a good time, so I didn't feel like I wasted my money until, like, way later when I grew up, you know?
Yeah.
But the funny thing, even still, now, is that after that, my mom, when she picked up the game from GameStop, she, without asking me first, bought Battlefield Premium for me. So it was another $60. And then she wanted me to pay that because she didn't want to pay the $60. She just figured I wanted it. And so she wanted me to pay $60. I'm like, I just sold all my games because I didn't have $60. She's like, okay, we'll do more chores around the house or something. And so I had to come up with, like, I had to do like 3 weeks of chores to come up with $30 worth of chore money because she split the difference. And then I played Battlefield 4 for like ever. I think I probably have like over time 3,000 hours in it across PlayStation and PC. I mean, as a kid, I played it way more.
Yeah.
But I had to buy Premium again on PC to even have that. So when I was playing it on like PS4, I at least got all the DLCs, but like nobody fucking played, or like nobody I knew had them, so I didn't get to play them like with my friends. It was kind of wacky.
I like stopped at Battlefield 3 and had the best time with that shit. And then
was great. And I got it because I saw a YouTube video about it. Like I played the beta and I didn't know I wanted it, and then I saw like, a Ben Bender's video about it.
I played it because I played Battlefield 2. And Battlefield 2 was the reason I got into online gaming. Because I, like, got an Xbox 360, played Battlefield 2, like, Battlefield 1, and then Battlefield 2, and then at the end of Battlefield 2, it's like, Gold Rush! Play this on Xbox Live! And I was like, bro, I need to get Xbox Live, and, like, I ended up, my dad, like, the next year for Christmas, bought me a laptop, and I solely used that laptop at the time to do a bridged Wi-Fi connection to hook up my Xbox to the internet. Instead of just getting the $60 fucking wireless thing. I don't know why I bought a whole ass laptop.
I don't know why I never really thought about it until like recently when I tried to play it again. Like it had the little Wi-Fi adapter that had to take up like a controller slot.
Yeah.
I never thought about that until like way later. I'm like, I always had this little tiny dingle dongle just hanging on my spot.
I had a dangly over there. I remember this intro.
It barely works. Yeah, this is my favorite intro to any mission ever in Halo. It's just so
bro, this made me love like Halo Wars. Just seeing the top down of all of the shit, and I'm like, oh bro, and then Halo Wars came out, I'm like, oh, I can do that.
Yeah, I really like though that it's just like, you know, just two big armies just going straight at each other.
Yeah. These motherfuckers in the Revolutionary War. It's just like...
Incoming!
And then it's like the next. I love that we used to fight wars with ghouls, and it was really dudes dressed up as nice as possible.
Can you hear me?
In like their
Six, you
like
all right?
best fucking
I could
suits.
use some help.
On my way.
Had the shittiest rifles that barely worked, and took forever to use, and they just stood in lines and were like at each other.
Yeah.
Straight at each other.
What's your status?
And then we won the Revolutionary War by skirting those preset rules.
Just ignored them and realized, wow, this is way easier.
Wow, God, they had it right in the olden days. I got direct impacted with that shit.
I'm realizing that in either legendary or co-op, we get a lot less ammo in the weapons that are cool. So the grenade launcher, I only had like 3 shots with it.
Yeah. I forgot about the grenade launcher, and then like the second that it picked it up, it triggered the memory.
It stimulated your neurons.
Yeah, it like, bro, you know whenever you just like forget about something for a long time and then you indirectly remember it?
Yeah.
And you're just like like, it's like riding a bike. I remembered, oh yes, you can hold the trigger on this and it does some shit. Because I just remember always holding the trigger. You have been deaded.
I have been deaded. You know what's funny about that? Is sort of similar to how, like, I remember the grenade launcher. Because when I played the game as a kid with the grenade launcher, I figured that out immediately on my own. The game doesn't tell you that, I don't think, at any point, that you can hold it down.
Yeah.
Maybe, in, like, the scoreboard thing. So I figured that out on my own. And it was, like, so cool. Like, what? You can do that? That's awesome. And then, like, that memory of me remembering that just sort of stuck with me forever. And so, Halo Reach grenade launcher I'll never forget. That you can hold it down and be
Halo Reach grenade launcher, never forget.
I still have some PS2 games and a working console. I just need a controller and it's fully functional. I wonder if newer PlayStation controllers work on the older consoles, because I know like older controllers can work on the newer consoles or, you know, on an emulator. But like I always figured that maybe, probably not, that a new controller wouldn't be able to work on an old like PlayStation. They don't have firmware for it. But it would be funny. It's just like, yeah, we just kept the legacy. We just kept the legacy code of the PlayStation 2 controller just hidden deep in the PlayStation 4. Just in case it's, you know, ever connected to an older
visual range.
The fucking controller knows when it's connected to an older one. It's just like, ah, yes, let me collect from my data. Oh, I'm supposed to do something about gun.
PS4 kind of works on PS3. Oh, the other way around, that would be insane. Yeah, just keep shooting that.
I don't think it's hitting.
And I was lucky to buy back my GameCube games before they went up in price. I sold Wind Waker and Sunshine back in the day, but I bought them before they went up in price.
I sold all of my GameCube games, and then I got a Wii. I had a game.
I never owned a GameCube.
No, that was the thing. I got a GameCube by telling my parents that I played Halo on my cousin's Xbox, and I was like, I want an Xbox for Christmas, and they were like, okay, GameCube. And like then I couldn't play Halo 2, and that's why my first time playing through Halo 2, I'm pretty sure, was with you.
See, I got an Xbox. I believe my original Xbox from my cousin, but the games I got on it were because, like, the first game I got. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, we're getting hit by. But my
Perfect.
first game was Halo 2 on the original Xbox, I think. But like the only game that I'd ever played on the GameCube until like recently was Super Smash Bros. Melee with my friends on the GameCube. And that was like, I remember this down to play. We were at a terrible spot.
Yeah.
Our work about to explode.
We're chilling. The lag just makes the rocket hog a little bit difficult.
Yeah. I was a Nintendo boy for most of my life. I think the only time I had them all was Wii, PS3, 360. Can't wait for the Wii to go insane in prices. The easiest 20K I've ever made. Oh my god. Wii
Bro, I still...
in the packet.
Yeah, I still have like the old first Wii, and it's just sitting in the other room, and like it's still
having a Wii. Hey, real fast. Having a Wii with all the Miis on it, like having like 7 or 8 Miis that all have Pro in every sport in Wii Sports. Imagine how fucking much money that's probably.
Nice.
Oh boy. Imagine somebody has been working out with like that Wii, what was that one Wii, yeah, Wii Fit. They've been working out with that shit every single day, and then they sell that shit just like, look how much I've been working out.
Good work, Noble 6. UNSC air support. Skies are clear.
Copy 2 Lima 4, bombing run, heading 224.6.
I still refuse to believe
granted.
that the PS5 is a real console that exists. I've never seen one, like, at all. At least not in real life. I've seen videos of it, but I've never seen it ever. Nobody I know.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't play PC?
So true. You know what's funny? You know the Last of Us 1 remake that's happening? And
yeah.
Everybody's like, oh, why is it getting made? And like, I understand, like, being like, because like it's a good game already. Like, you know, it feels like it's a good game, and it's already gotten like a remaster, and it works fine. And I think it's been re-released on PS5. But it was, you know, that remaster came out on the PS4, so it's on multiple generations of hardware. but like it's not on PC. And so I want the remake so that I can play it on PC.
I would like to play the game.
So everyone's just trying to like get them to stop making it. Like, no, actually, kinda, I want it though.
No, I would really like. Yeah, I've never really cared about The Last of Us or anything, but yeah, I just remember people hardcore complaining about it, and I'm like, well, I mean, if you don't want to, just don't buy it. And I'm sure people will buy it. Please, please reload, fuck.
That Revenant hurts.
Yeah, it does. Pull me forward a little bit. Ooh, can I get this? No. There's a phantom that I wish to shoot.
Copy 2 Lima 4, bombing run, heading 224.6, permission granted, out.
There you go, free reign. I keep thinking the PS4 is the newest console, but it's about a decade old now. I've only seen one in real life, and I found out my local GameStop had one in stock. Let's see. Yeah, Killzone, there's no way you have a PS5.
Yeah, they don't exist.
They're also like the most expensive console ever.
Oh, you cannot stop that barrage. I was under the impression you could.
You know, it fires like 6 rockets, and you don't get to stop it.
Ah, wonderful to know. That Revenant took 2 shots. 3, 2, 1. We're back up. Fine. We're doing fine.
Brake car just behind us.
The Revenant is dead. And the...
How is the PS5 out of stock if no one has one?
They didn't...
They're in possession of the very
What is it called? A paper sale? Yeah. Or paper launch. So, it was like a conspiracy theory about the fucking graphics cards too. Like the 30 series. That they do a paper launch, which is basically they say that they launch it in the news and everything, but then they don't actually launch it, and so then they can just like sell it for high demand. Come on, stop dodging, son of a bitch.
That'd be funny. That'd be goofy.
That'll be a little bit silly.
I feel like you could get everything on PC, so I don't know the point of getting a PS5.
Anymore? I don't think there is one. Oh god, he came!
I think there's still some, like, exclusives. And maybe that's the thing with, like, consoles having exclusive games. Like, they're not selling hardware, they're selling developer games.
Yeah.
And the hardware is to play those. Like, they are selling hardware. So, like, the way that they get you to buy it is through the game. Which is why I always wondered why everybody's like, oh, you gotta make everything plus. Like, you have to release everything. Exclusives are bad. So, like, the only reason that consoles ever got as far as they did is because of exclusivity. It's like a shitty system, yeah. I wish everything came to PC. And, like, I really hope that eventually, over time, they do just migrate to them, like older titles, because they're not making any money, you know, just sitting on, you know, like an old PS3 game isn't making any money anymore.
They're all dead.
By stating, like, exclusive. But, like, the point of exclusivity, you know, was to push those consoles forward.
Yeah.
Except for Nintendo. They made whatever the fuck they wanted and everybody bought it.
Yo.
Weird.
They were kooky crazy. I mean, Nintendo just like consistently made good shit. That was like kind of the thing. Or like
Nintendo didn't try to push like the industry forward, but people did buy Nintendo like consoles because the game.
Yeah.
So in a way, exclusivity is like the only reason Nintendo was in business.
Why won't this motherfucker die?
If you could buy like if you could have bought every fucking Super Mario game.
Please.
Like on PC when they came out.
He's dead.
Probably we would not have the Switch probably, and the Switch is super cool.
Yeah, but now you have like this Steam Deck.
Nintendo doesn't push forward stuff in like graphics quality or performance, but they do push forward like that
User experience.
Yeah, like user experience, or I wanted to say mobile, but like playing games on the go.
I guess with like the Game Boy and shit.
Yeah, like they're definitely more of a you can game anywhere kind of company.
I think it's more so that like anyone can game, right? So people who are on the go, people who want to do exercise, they made the Wii, you know, they try to hit literally every target audience, and I think they've been fairly successful in that, considering how many fucking families bought Wiis.
Yeah, it's like a low barrier of entry.
Yeah,
and they did focus on family.
There's a mining facility
near
your
style
location.
kind of thing. Like I really love the Wii, particularly because there are so many family like game collections, like mini games. But like me and my family owned a couple of them, where it was like this one was like a mini golf game, like a really shitty mini golf game, but it was incredible. I love it. And then there was like a carnival set of mini games.
Bro, fucking like Super Mario World. Oh no, not Super Mario World. What's that? What's that one that's like a party? Yeah, Mario Party. Fuck. Bro,
Oh yeah.
Listen, man. I got to play it like once or twice, and it was so lit. And now that like the Switch is out, like online play was the best thing that ever happened to Nintendo, I feel like.
Okay.
Yeah. Like once they started with that shit, they went from like, you know, being known and being played to, oh my god, like we can actually, you know, yeah, like Smash went fucking huge, Animal Crossing went fucking huge.
I'm pretty sure Smash was like a huge thing before online play. Like,
yes,
they had
but
tournaments for it like before you could play online.
Yeah, but with the amount of people that were doing it, I guess. Like,
I guess like Ultimate is like the biggest one, like as far as player counts go.
Yeah, because otherwise you have to have what, like a GameCube and an old. Yeah, no, it was definitely a phenomenon, and people definitely like played it. But like the amount of people able to play together, like. I don't know how many times I played that shit, but I played with a fucking bot and wanted to die because, like, the bots were just trash.
I mean, my friend would just bring his GameCube over because it was just, like, easier than... Or I would go over to his house. Remember when people used to do that?
Yeah.
One... My friend's house to play fucking GameCube on it. Like, and the funny thing is, that was, like, a friend that I don't talk to anymore. You know, he had a piano in his house. He had a really big house too. It was weird. But like, you know, he had a GameCube. He would bring it over for like every other week or so. We played fucking Smash Bros. Crazy.
Yeah, once the like point at which I had a friend that I could do that with, I was out of the like GameCube Nintendo phase. That was the beginning of my like Xbox phase. That was the friend that was like, ah yes, get Xbox 360, and then ah yes, get like, because of Xbox 360, get Xbox Live, and like that type of shit. And funnily enough, I never played Xbox Live with him.
I did not play Brawl Online. I never actually at any point. But yeah, so I got sheeshed.
You got sheeshed?
I got sheeshed. Thank you, Gavin. I appreciate that. There's more of them. Now you can emote. You can emote with all of my emotes, except for not all of them, because some of them I couldn't fit into them. For me, I think like online, for me, online gaming is way more convenient, and like I still have that same amount of fun that I did when I played it, like, you know, at my friend's house. You know, we still have like a great time.
Yeah.
So I appreciate online gaming for what it is. But there was something like really special about being able to like hang out in like one of my friends in a theater room. Like his family had set aside like an extra bedroom and turned it into a theater with like noise canceling foam on the walls and like big like reclining chairs, and it was so cool to go over to his house and play games on this big projector screen. And like that kind of experience, like, you know, I don't get anymore. I don't need it, but it was like really cool.
Yeah, that is something that I like want to do in the future. Like if I can afford it, obviously. Like have a dope ass theater room.
Totally, get this. They were middle class. Remember when people in the middle class could afford to like get anything?
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was insane.
That's not rich. They were not rich.
Yeah. That, yeah, middle class, like, used to mean well off enough to where you can, like, have your needs and then you have, like, you know,
like
a decent amount of wants. Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure them financing that theater room set them back, like, 2 years, but they did it because they wanted it.
Yeah.
They, like, forewent a whole lot of pay. But they were
Yeah.
like, you know what, we want something nice.
Yeah. And then, like, lower class would, like, still own a house and, you know, be able to live. And now it's just, like, God, it's so fucking hard.
It's funny because I, like, without knowing it, I came from a family that was, like, decently well off. Not, like my dad made six figures. Very low amount of six figures. Like, I think he was making, like, 100
I want you to neutralize that.
He worked as a police officer.
Any means necessary.
Like, full time.
Mm-hmm.
He worked a fuck ton of overtime. So he was constantly, like, getting money. Like, he was providing, but he would always spend it on himself. Like, he bought a boat. He like couldn't really afford a boat. He bought a boat.
He bought a boat.
And like, you know, this money, like, he always sort of talked like we didn't have any. And so when I grew up, like, I figured we just like had no money or something. And I learned later, like, we kind of did. Not like we weren't like we didn't have a lot, but enough to like I probably like could have afforded things. Like my dad probably could have put me through college, and he chose not to. He didn't save up. He didn't give me an allowance. I didn't get an allowance for doing chores or anything. He didn't save up any money for schooling. My dad was the kind of person that's like, you have to get a job when you're 18, and from that point you have to earn enough to live on your own and also pay for school. Which is kind of weird. Don't know how that's supposed to work, and it doesn't, by the way. I tried that.
Yeah. No, I definitely get it. Like,
well, and then when my parents divorced, none of that. I again, like all that non-existent money. Definitely just got none of it.
Yeah. I definitely, like, understand that. I wouldn't say, like, I definitely got a good portion of shit, but, yeah, same story. My dad makes low six figures, but six figures, and has been making that for a while. You know, been big chillin', but, you know, I had to pay for my own college, had to do my own shit. I pay rent. like, and all that. And I know ultimately, like, you know, the house and the shit, you know, I will get money, right? Because it is inevitable that my father will pass away and I will receive inheritance. But it's just kind of weird. Yeah, it's just kind of weird when it's just like, yeah, we could have actually, like, saved a fuck ton of money by, you know, you paying
also,
for it.
Totally. Getting an allowance is weird, like, just in general, because it's, you know, child labor. But the point of an allowance, I'm pretty sure, was to set aside savings for your child and make it feel like they will earn that money, other than just setting aside money for your kid so that they can do things later in the future. Like, you know, most parents probably have, like, a college fund for their kids, or they try to make one. I guess that sort of ends after you have a certain amount of kids. Not particularly, but can be. It depends. I think if you're a rich family giving a child an allowance, you just give them fuck tons of money a week. Like, you get one iPhone a month, and like that's their allowance. But for most children, that is, you do chores, and get an allowance. Like, sure, they just make up chores on the spot for you to do, but like they want you to do something.
Yeah.
But like it's cause like they just would rather do that, I guess, than actually just have like a set aside fund for their child.
Yeah, I always kind of, I don't think I had an allowance. No, I didn't have an allowance. I always thought of it more or less like, yeah, basically, you do shit, it teaches you how to work, and therefore you get money. But every time I heard about it, it sounded like they would just directly get the money and then spend it like children do. Instead of it being set aside. And like, I think like the earning it, having them earning it is like good, you know, like teaching them like teaching them like how to earn money, and then giving them some of it to spend, and teaching them how to like save, and like how to buy their own shit, and how they can't buy just everything they see and have to know what they want. But at the same time, also saving some of it for them and doing the shit that like they can't do because they are not adults and don't understand investing or saving, like true saving or anything. But at the same time, I don't think every adult, or even dare say a lot of adults, understand those concepts either, because they just...
I mean, I didn't, like, when I was growing up, my parents didn't teach me any of that.
Yeah.
And school didn't teach me any of that, so I didn't know how to save money. I thought like $60 was a lot of cash.
Yeah.
And like, so when I was like getting to the age, my dad was like, oh, you know, be ready, when you're 18, we're gonna kick you out of the house. You better get a job. And I'm like, what the, huh? Like, I never had a job. I didn't know the process of getting a job.
Yeah.
And then, like, my parents divorced at 17, and my dad was like, hey, guess what? You can pay for college yourself, by the way. Get flexible now. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So he was like, oh, no, but don't worry, you'll just get scholarships. And I'm like, what?
All right, how do I get scholarships?
And then it was like, you know, I would either have to go to community college and, you know, be able to afford it with a scholarship. I could do it because I wasn't able to get a scholarship for community college. Or I'd have to go through university to actually get the classes that I wanted. And if I did that, you know, then I'd be like $30,000 in debt, because the price of a like university in state for my state that I live in is like 20 times like the average that it was supposed to be. than it was when my dad went through school. So it's kind of shit.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, and I reached the age of 18, I got the first job that I had at the age of 17, and I started working at PetSmart. And I was working part-time, so I was going to school at the same time. I think it was like 20 hours a week. And I still, like, there was no way that I could have made any, like, I was like, there's no way that my dad expected me to be able to afford school, like, going into higher level education with this kind of pay, even if I was working full-time. At any point, would I be able to afford this, like, in my life, maybe? And so I'm, like, sitting there, going through working PetSmart, and I'm wondering how the fuck my dad expected me to own a place and also pay for school at the same time. I'm like, this dude is living in Narnia. There's no way that he is real.
Yeah. The, like, shit is that, like, that used to be a thing that you could do, and then just, like, economy got so fucked that, you know, you can't do that. And, like...
Even now, when I, like, still had the PetSmart job, and I can't afford to live on my own. Hell, even with, like, the new job that I'm getting, unless the housing market crashes, which it very likely might, I'm not gonna be able to afford living in my own place. Like, I'd have to live with, like, a friend or something, which honestly is fine with me. Like, I have to move into something.
Yeah, I think that's what, like, the common thing became, was it was just like, people can just get apartments because they're young, and then they're sitting there at, like, 30, still like, needing an apartment with their job, and it's just like, how do you expect them to raise a family comfortably while they're living in a two-person apartment? And it's like, I wonder why the birth rate is low. Because they can't afford it. Like, bro, what the fuck?
I was going to the bowling alley with my friends, like, a couple weeks ago. And it was like we have to go on a day where it's like $10 for unlimited bowling, but you only get like 3-hour sittings of bowling. But for like the entire day, you can play bowling for $10, and it's like this great deal. And so we were going, like, you know, we went like 2 weeks in a row, like just one day, you know, and then like 2 weeks of that, and it was like really fun. And then, like, every time that we went, like, you know, we'd get like some food, and I would say it was like a very, very tame night on the town. And for me, that was like crippling amount of money.
Yeah.
I had been out of working for so long that, like, I was not making enough to meet that deficit, because, like, I basically paid bills and paid bills and paid bills, and then there was nothing. Like, I wasn't getting enough positive. So, like, I couldn't even go bowling.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for the congratulations, Gavin. It's really cool.
Well, shit.
I'm bringing kids into this world I can barely hold to life by myself.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing. It's like, why? I don't know how it is expected of us to be able to do that and, like, live. Like, I'm not saying you're not always able to live, but, like, at least live comfortably. Like, anymore with a majority of shit, it's like either kids or that fucking, like, movie room, right? Or kids or a pool or kids or a hot tub. And it's like, bro.
At this point, it's getting to kids or food.
Yeah, that's a fucky thing. It's just like, alright, kids, or do you want to live in an apartment instead of the street?
I know for me, I'm very thankful that my mother continues to let me live in this house with no rent.
I'll call out targets as we go.
Yeah.
Because I'm her child, and she was like, yeah, you know, that's sort of like what a parent's supposed to do. They're supposed to like look after their child until they're able to live on their own.
Yeah, I'm at.
If I had to pay rent to my mom, I would have been like bankrupt.
Yeah,
You know, COVID put me out of a job for a while, and no place was like, every place was like, hey, we're looking for people to hire, but they were lying because they were not that desperate.
We're looking for people to hire as long as they'll work for free.
Nobody will work anymore. Give me a job. No,
Nah.
You don't know how many applications I sent out where I didn't get a thing back. They didn't tell me anything. They didn't tell me if I got the job or not. For like 6 months, and I'm like, at that point, like I have to just say no. Like it's too long.
Yeah.
Like all of them said no, and they told me like so late that like, what was the point?
Yeah, it was like, I'm really lucky I went through the whole college thing, and like I think my dad paid for like my first year or whatever, which was really helpful because I didn't go into 100K in debt. But I still went into like pretty debt, but like I still live with my like parents. I worked, but I didn't have to pay rent or anything. And like now I live with my dad, but I pay rent and I pay off student loans, and like I'm not dying, and my rent is definitely very reasonable for what I get out of it. But it's just like, I also have a very good job with a very high paying degree. I don't want to know what it's like if I didn't go with this route. Like, yeah, like you're literally better off with a majority of like things that they tell you to go to college for, with just learning it on your own and like working your way up. But like you can't do that for everything.
The opportunity that I got was like one of those, I don't know if it's like, I don't know what you would call it, but it's like never expected to get it, never expected to be able to like have that offer like in front of me. And so it's one of those chances where I'm glad I took it, because it's like a dream. Yeah, sure, golden ticket works. It's like one of those dream jobs that I would be able to have and like be able to support myself doing a job that like I know I can do and like can get in full time and not hate it every second of the way.
Yeah, that's like kind of the important thing.
I mean, before, like I would have been stuck, because with the like the degree that I have a degree in digital media and arts. I would have gotten nothing, or I would have had to start like really low on whatever ladder. But there's no job that really hires for that, and I didn't know that until later. Because I wanted a degree in animation, that was the best I could get in my state, and I can't afford to go out of state. So, like, even though I wanted to be an animator, I physically could not. I could not afford it. And I couldn't go to a college that, like, saw me in. So, I did best I could, and I learned video editing on my own in the process, and then I'm, you know, video editing. That's, like, the thing I got, so... it was the thing I didn't go to school for, but took classes in, I guess. So there's that.
Yeah. I'm lucky where I knew, like, what I wanted to go to school for from a very early age, at least, like, the general idea. And, like, technology in general, very good field and very wide field. So I was like, yeah, I enjoy a lot of aspects of technology, and I can get into basically any of them and enjoy it. And so I kind of just like picked the highest paying one. And I was like, this is going to be my profession, and the rest is going to be a hobby. And you know, I just wish the one thing I wish from college that I didn't do is like, I guess, figure out more of like what I wanted to do other than that. Like in college, it was all that was it. And when I got out, I like basically had that and gaming, and like gaming's a cool hobby and all, but like, you know, game development, that's a part of technology that I'm heavily interested in, wanted to go to college for, and then like didn't, because I was like, you know, I don't think that I can really do it or whatever. And so now it's like, do I want to, it's much harder to spend the time to learn that now, because, you know, 9 to 5 and, you know, wanting to play video games and shit. So that's why, like, I'm enjoying streaming and glad that I'm enjoying streaming, because now I'm just doing my hobby that I would do anyways, but adding stuff to it where I can add, I guess, the what do you call, creative aspect, I guess. Make it my own, and like, you know, still have my job, still do all of that. It doesn't interfere with that, and be able to move around with it. Like, I'm comfortable enough where if I wanted to try game development, I could just stream it. If I wanted to try, like, you know, if I wanted to do coding, like personal coding, I could stream it. It doesn't have to be video games. And like, now it feels like whatever hobby I choose to do, I can add creativity and like momentum behind it. Yeah. That's like mostly why I struggled with.
That was like a thing for my family, and you know, a lot of my problems I tend to realize kind of go back to my father, but not in the sense of me having daddy issues, more in the sense of he did not set me up well to live on my own. But he was always like, you know, I would have to work, and like this is a guarantee that I have to work a job I hate for like 20 years to be able to get a job I want. And I'm like, what if I got a job I want and enjoyed it, you know, and just did that? What if I got a job like that? That'd be crazy. And he was like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. And so I was like, I didn't know how, and I told him I was gonna prove him wrong. And I guess technically I am. So if you're watching this, Dad, fuck you.
Fuck you, father. Yeah, again, that's why I feel lucky with like my shit. It's just I do what I love, and because I do what I love, I can learn to.
Because I do what I love, I love what I do.
Well, no, it's even more so like I can learn to do other shit and do other things than what I love. Like, it just like opens up more opportunity.
Get in there. Take out that shield, Lieutenant.
I am excited to show everybody my video as well.
Yeah, it's gonna be dope.
We got a friggin' inbound to blow that spire as soon as the shield is powered down.
But
we're
patience to be a teacher. I feel like you would you would snark your students so hard. They would ask you a question and then you'd be like, "Dumb bitch."
Were you stupid? You didn't leave the lesson plan? Ow, I was smacked.
You'd be the kind of teacher to get pop quizzes about things like you did not tell them about.
Pop quiz. What are holes?
pop quiz. What's the temperature of the sun on like at the furthest point, you know, or it's like what's the temperature of the sun at the end of its lifetime? Like, you know, when it explodes, what's the maximum temperature that the sun will reach?
Control.
Like, oh yeah,
this is Noble One. Spire 1 is
hot.
Green and you're free to engage.
It's like that's the
Have
answer.
a nice day.
You have like
Copy that,
numbers
Noble
and then
One.
like something
Be advised,
hot.
all ground
Something
units.
hot's the real.
Frigate 3-1 Heavy is inbound, and MAC rounds have been authorized.
Mac rounds in atmosphere.
One way to get their attention. Hang on to your teeth, people.
Like, I'd still snark them, but I wouldn't be an asshole because they don't deserve that. I mean, I typically think that I enjoy learning way more when I can tell the person that is teaching me fucking loves it.
No, somebody tell me
Like, I
this
was
ain't
much more
happening.
receptive to
UNSC
my
frigate
science
Grafton,
teachers
do you
that
copy?
legitimately seemed
Grafton
like they
is
had a
dust.
fucking good
We need to
time
get out of here
talking about
now.
science stuff than when they were just like, turn your books to page 7 and paragraphs 3 through 9 and fill out this worksheet.
Yeah, I always enjoyed it when, that's why like I enjoyed college so much, was like a lot of the professors actually enjoyed and knew a lot but didn't act like they knew everything about topics. And it was just like you would like have a question and sometimes they would just go, yeah, I don't know. And like then they would come back the next day and they're like, yeah, I like researched the answer and here it is and it's really interesting. And it's like, yeah, cool. Or, you know, with me, like you code a program and like there's some form of creativity with coding. So, you know, you make this program your own and they look at it and they're like, wow, that's like, you know, a cool way to solve this problem.
Uh-oh.
And, you know.
Who's your money on this time? Her. You always pick her.
I want my students to engage in
She's
it,
always had
learn
him dialed
about
in.
both themselves and their
That
past,
thing's
as well as
crushing
what
us
they
and we're
live in,
waiting
to
for
better figure
backup.
out
They'll
what
be
they
backing
want
up
to
a
do.
graveyard.
All our nukes
Well,
are
that's
either
a-
out system or went
that's a-
down
that's
with
a-
the ships that carried them.
That's a
You're
noble
preaching to
goal.
the converted.
How converted?
I know that look, Cat.
You can say no.
No.
You don't even want to hear it.
No.
Fine, I'll hear it.
Remember that accident a couple years back? Colony ship en route to Cygnus, 700 dead.
Vaguely a
I
slip
know
space drive malfunction,
some of my
right?
favorite classes
Actually, it worked fine.
were some of like
The drive
weirdest
was mounted
options, and
improperly
definitely more
after
of
a
like
service
a
haul-out.
class.
When
like
it
what I'm
fired, it
interested in.
teleported half the ship to
Um,
oblivion.
This is
And
relevant.
everybody's always surprised when I tell them this.
How?
And I think I might have mentioned it to you, but I
Certain
took a
Covenant
podcasting class.
supercarrier could, with some assistance, suffer the same unfortunate accident.
Even
Followed
for
immediately
you,
by a
Cat,
documentary
that's
class
not the word I would
by
use.
the same teacher because they were really cool.
What's going on?
And
Go
I enjoyed
ahead.
working with
Explain.
them. But yeah,
May
Gavin,
I?
they have a podcasting class.
cut
At least
yourself.
at my college, they did.
Objective.
And when
destroy
I got into
Covenant
it, it was their
carrier in
first year
geosynchronous
doing
orbit
it.
above us.
This sanctioned, sir.
What do you think?
Method. A slip space drive in lieu of the nukes we don't have.
I think it was just
Delivery
because the
system,
teacher that was
us.
doing it.
Solvable?
So it was
Getting
actually a
us up there.
two-teacher class.
That and getting our
and
hands
it
on
was
a
their
slip
first
space
time
drive.
running the class.
Thank you for sharing.
And
So,
one of them had
all
a
we need
podcast,
is orbit
like,
capable
talking about
transport
film
and the
and
single
stuff.
most expensive piece
And
of
the other
equipment
one
made by me.
did a lot of
As a
just
soldier
audio
in
work.
the field,
they,
I couldn't
they worked
possibly
in,
have
in
access to those
documentary
kinds
making,
of resources.
and had
That
their own
said,
documentary
a good
like
place to look might be
production
I don't
company.
know, the
But they
nearest
did a lot of work with
non-existent
audio
launch
stuff.
site and the non-existent Saber program.
And so they made like a
dismissed
class
by 3
together
administrations as
about
preposterous
podcasting.
rumor,
And so that like set me
and
up
in which our newest member
to like know about how to
was
like
certainly
audio
never
edit
a pilot.
and
You're
sort
scary.
of like it was like
You
a
know that.
well, technically
All we
speaking
need
probably
is a
could have
green
been
light from Holland.
a
Good luck
door
with that.
into
You're the one
audio
asking him.
engineering, or at least like audio production. And so
Well, there's no way in hell he's gonna
I
go for
like
this.
had that as my sort of door open if I wanted to take it into that field. Because my teacher like knew a lot of contacts in that industry, and honestly, like she's like the coolest teacher that I know. And like she had some old students that used to work on documentary stuff there,
Bit of a hike to the
years
launch
ago.
facility.
And
Any
they
closer? It's
have
too hot.
since become
Copy
like
that, Commander.
people
Move up
big
the
in
beach,
whatever
Noble.
industry one of her old students, I think, is named Autumn Farrell. And she became like an editor for, I think it was Inside Gaming, and then maybe Funhouse or Rooster Teeth, one of the two, and then moved on to, I believe, 100 Thieves. Something like that. But she's like a, I guess, an online personality that people know, and she's like big in the gaming space. So when I was working on a documentary class, or working on a documentary project, I was, thankfully to my teacher, she was able to get me into contact with a guy named Steve Spohn. I was doing a project on the history of accessibility in games, because my brother is disabled and he loves gaming. And so, you know, it felt very natural to make a project on that. And so my teacher got into contact with Autumn, who got into contact with Steve Spohn, who got into contact with me, and then I got an interview. And that was like the coolest thing I had done in my life up to that point, was interviewing Steve. And then I got to make a documentary project off of that. And that was like, I think the first time that I had made the kind of YouTube video, because I don't think I posted it, but like, it was basically meant to be like a video. It was basically meant to be like a documentary that you could watch, but it's very much in the form of like a video that you see on YouTube. And like, that was my first introduction to that, which then translated into, you know, boundary break somehow. Thank God. But like, it's really weird that like, I got to do all that, and the story could have ended there. And really, I thought it would. I never thought I'd have an opportunity like I do now. But like, I thought, like, man, this would be so cool if I could go through this avenue and do this for a living. Because like, I still want to be an animator. I really want to be an animator. I want to animate so bad. But like, you know, this was like my secondary option. And it's so weird to me that like, that is the door that opened.
Boy changes his mind.
And it just sort of opened randomly. Like, I never, I did not plan this. So far out of my element, but it is like all the pieces sort of fit into place, and I am writing that in I don't know, like in disbelief, I guess. It's so crazy. I still don't get it, but you know, cool.
Yeah, it's dope. Yeah, my biggest thing is like always wanting to learn something new, I guess. Like, I genuinely enjoy being out of my comfort zone. Because like, for a long time I spent it in my comfort zone. Like a long portion of my life. And then getting out of it just like really gives me a feeling of, I don't know, it's like my adrenaline push. Whenever I don't know something and then I figure it out. If I know everything for a topic, it's just kind of like it's cool, and I like teaching people. And you know, I like utilizing those tools, but I also really like learning new things and then being able to just expand that knowledge and expand that experience.
For everybody here, yes, welcome to the podcast. First stage this isn't Halo Reach gameplay.
Well, welcome to the podcast, where we background Halo Reach. That could actually work. You know, like, kind of like, you know, Scarce is Here, the like news channel that just like backgrounded CS:GO and like Call of Duty gameplay.
All true Let's Plays are podcasts in disguise. So true, so true. I came here honestly because I was curious about the person you picked. Well, hopefully you think nothing but good things.
Yeah, Snopsy's a cool guy.
I'll say one thing. Like
Noble Actual to Saber Bravo 029er.
This is like the most nervous probably
Colonel Holland.
that I've ever been about anything. Like, probably ever.
Understood, Colonel.
Level 6. Like even if I have a good feeling about it, like I still like there's so many unknowns and I don't know how it's gonna go.
Rendezvous at Anchor 9 with
I hope it
Frigate
goes
Savannah
great.
and the other Sabers as soon as you're
but
ready.
throughout the process, I do have to say that like and Racoon, I know you don't know who he is really. I think I told you about him.
Yeah. I looked at a couple of the things.
Yeah, but she says is like has been like one of the nicest people that I've met.
Multiple unidentified
especially like introducing me to this process.
Teams, be advised, we have bogies inbound.
And getting me
Anchor 9 to all
the
UNSC
track
ships.
to get
Station
started.
defenses are down. Requesting combat support until we can bring them back online.
I have nothing but like the highest of thanks for that to him. But it really is like, you know, he's been super kind and and it's made this process, you know, way better. And really fun. But it, like way less stressful than it could have been otherwise. Which is great for me. But it's so weird now because like I know that like I will have to like I don't really necessarily think I'll be holding myself to any different standards. Like I don't.
Anchor 9
I hope
impulse drive
that, you know,
signatures detected. Fighter class. Heads up.
People don't think that I'm like the worst person ever. You know, generally I try to be
Saber teams. Use your guns to
always
take down their
myself
shields.
at all times. I feel like I've been every time that you've seen me, Racoon, he's like I don't think I've ever been anybody that I'm not. I'm very much like everywhere I go, even in real life, like I don't change. I know a lot of people have like their online facade, but I'm me at all times. I would be so exhausted if I had to.
Yeah, that's I have a like different side, but that's like the work side. I don't really care for like online.
My employers at PetSmart hated me because I would passive aggressively talk to them. Like I would never like mean or anything. Like I talk very sarcastically all the time and passively aggressively. Like never in like a like oh I hate this person kind of way. But if they like are like oh hey by the way morning shift left you a thing that they're not supposed to leave you, I would be like oh okay. Like I would be like sounds like they had a busy day. Like I'd say something like that. You know something spoofy. And everybody at my work didn't seem to mind, and I had a lot of good friends there, but like the person who was my manager hated me so much. They didn't like that I would ask them questions. I died.
I also did.
Ow.
I completely deleted this mission from my memory until like I think this is like why I ended up at least like starting to play through all of the old Halos is because I think you might have or somebody brought it up as a thing and I was like no that didn't happen. There was no mission. But yeah, I try to always like be authentic. For work I'm myself, but obviously like I curse a good bit less, and like I don't talk about like all of the different things I talk about, you know, online. But it's not like I'm ashamed of either side. It's just like kind of, you know, the occasion. Like
Is there any place the
And I think that's the nice thing about my work is a lot of people are like that. Like, if we meet up for like a work thing or whatever, afterwards they will go out drinking, and it's just kind of, it's not like corporate. It's not a big deal. Everybody is just a normal person with normal person things. And even like during work, like if we're talking amongst ourselves, it's just we're normal people with normal people things with skill sets. But
I'm afraid to look at my old videos and see how shitty they are.
That's the thing. That's the thing that like drives me. Like I said, like I always want to be out of my comfort zone and learning some shit. Which is why, like, I'm wanting to continually, like, get better at streaming and get better at, like, talking and all of that. And, like, I use the old shit and, like, you know, videos that don't do as well as others as stepping stones and, like, learning things. Like, I don't look down on myself because I'm like, yeah, I still, like, did that. I still made that. That was like me doing that. You know, it's so now it's just learning to make it better, to do it better. I forgot these things had missiles, which is probably why I've just been continually dying.
It's not.
Okay. Good to know, good to know.
Yeah, like for me, I like to take every opportunity as like or everything I do as an opportunity to learn. Like I know, especially with video making, I always try to do experimental stuff. When I was doing like normal video editing jobs, and the issue with that is that it just extends the time that it takes to do like a thing.
Yeah.
And like that was always my problem. I always wanted to try stuff and it would take me forever. And so like I struggled a long time with getting stuff, you know, learning and not taking too long to do it, or not holding myself to the idea that I have to improve like with this some magical thing.
Anchor 9
like
to all
incremental
UNSC
progress
ships,
is still
station
progress.
defenses are back online.
And so one of the things that I've been doing recently is I'm using the things I've learned to make stuff that's better, but not going out of my way to do these crazy experiments that are going to take me an extra 3 weeks on like a video. Obviously I need to do that now because like I have a thing to do every 2 weeks. But like for me, this process, like I have made, technically speaking, I think at this point, because like there was the original audition, and then the video that I'm making now. But even within that, like there are so many iterations on stuff that I've done, and every single one, if I go back to them now, they sound different. And now, you know, it keeps getting better and better. But like even just a month ago, it's like so different. In like it's like a nice.
I didn't pull apart enough. Damn it.
In like a really large way. Like when you go back and pound all of it, but like in the moment it was very incremental progress. And so even though I've only been making this kind of stuff recently, I'd like to think that I'm still doing like a lot different and better than I was when I started, which is nice. I can relate to that. I used to experiment a lot of my video editing when I used to do Let's Play videos. I feel like Let's Play videos are always like a great place to start because it gets you comfortable talking to the camera.
Yep.
I struggled a lot with that. That was like the first hurdle, was talking to the camera. And I still can't really do that when I'm by myself. I definitely try, don't worry. And that's one of the things that I do have to like fully learn, is that like that ability to carry that same charisma through when I'm like sitting by myself in a dark room. And when I record audio, like that's like the worst too, because I'm thinking about like how loud am I gonna wake up my family?
Saber teams were marking high.
What if they hear what I'm saying and they think it's lame and dumb?
Yeah, that's kind of how I do like streaming. I could never do. I always had a problem with like recording a video and then editing it and putting it out. But if I do a live stream and I remember a funny thing that happened, then I'm like perfectly fine with making shorts out of it. Yeah, like I edited those 3 shorts literally last night based on my memory from, you know, when we played. I was like, oh yeah, these 3 parts were funny. And I was just trying to get it down to a kind of down to a science, like down to where I can consistently output you know, and find, and then I want to like start not only outputting but outputting like quality, like knowing the science of like what people like, what a good cut is, you know, what a good transition is, stuff like that.
I know for a while I was always worried, like, will the next thing I put out be as funny as the one that was before? And that caused me to not post anything like ever.
I'm out here 6.
Warning. And then it became like a creative thing where it's like I would only ever post something if I really thought it was like something that I wanted to post. And so, like, a year on my channel, there is nothing. There's like 3 videos, and they're all super different.
You want to know something? You're like, I think your like latest video, your last video, is still one of my favorite videos on the internet, and I like. Yeah, and I saw it again today, and I was like, bro, I want this to go viral. Everybody needs to know about Beautiful Boy.
By 22.
No Lizard.
Yeah,
Gavin, if you want.
Verbal enhance.
I'll take a look at it. Do you want me to like show it on screen?
Noble 5, your pulse is elevated. There is nothing you can do for Dr. Woolsey and the others inside Sword Base. The mathematics are determined.
Technically speaking, I could show a few of the edits that I've made over time that I've like canceled, or I could show Beautiful Boy.
Bravo 2-9, are you clear to reengage
Beautiful Boy is worth it.
Noble 6, this is Holland.
Go ahead, Colonel.
We've flagged a Corvette-class vessel on a predicted docking track with our target. Get our makeshift bomb on that Corvette, and we have our delivery system. Noble 5 will escort the bomb. I need your Saber team to clear the way for boarding.
Understood, Colonel.
As she's already donated her slip space drive to the cause, the Savannah will be joining you to provide local fire support.
Oh, I thought you were asking. Okay,
Our
you
wings
meant
may
cuz.
be clipped, but we've got your back.
You typed could.
I've stuck my neck out for Noble on this one, Lieutenant.
Okay, but
We'll get it done,
feel free
Colonel.
to put it
6
in.
out.
I think you might be able to put it in chat. If not, like, can you whisper me in Twitch with the link? Just, you know, make sure it's a link to like YouTube and not not a shady site.
A link to Pornhub. Yeah, here's your video. Here's your video, bud.
I will not click those kinds of links.
He's gonna send you the T-Rex fucking a car link.
No!
Echo 2, good to go. Echo 3, systems green.
Echo 4, all systems online.
Echo 4, solid
Hey,
copy.
I remember when that like was such a meme on Twitch and shit, just sending streamers that link and seeing them open it. T-Rex fucking a car. I think Summit 1G opened it on stream and got banned for it.
That'll make boarding her a whole lot easier. Noble 6, and mark
Yeah, it's just like a dumbass GIF that exists.
Energy flows detected in the Corvette's launch base.
I can't believe the bowling ball gift like crippled the internet as much as it wasn't that fucking like bad. Like it was not that shocking.
Reinforcements coming from. I thought the target was jammed.
Bowling ball GIF?
There's like a gif of a bowling fucking a bowling pin.
Don't let any of us get away.
And it broke Twitter.
6, I'm marking
Like
targets.
Twitter could not believe
Take out
that
the
such a thing
Corvette's main
existed.
engines.
And I was like, huh? This is like the most normal thing I've seen on Twitter.
Heads up, Sabers. Multiple impulse drive signatures detected. More bogeys incoming.
Echo 2 to Savannah Actual. Where are the reinforcements coming from? I thought the target was jammed.
Must be squadrons coming back from patrol, Echo 2.
Don't let any of them get away, Sabers. Kill them before they...
We're fucking great. Yeah, this is why, like, whenever this mission was brought up, I wanted to play it. Because I just remembered why I repressed the memory of this mission. Because it's pain.
It's pain on Legendary.
It was pain for me as a child.
Where are the reinforcements coming from? I thought the target was jammed.
It's only difficult because every fucking ship is a Seraph. And they have shields.
Don't let any of them get away, Sabers. Kill them before they bug out.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, we can't destroy their point defense, which makes me angry.
Gavin, I'll pull it up when we get inside the ship so we can sort of pause for a bit.
Don't let any of them get away, Sabers. Kill them before they bug out and go in that super.
Oh my god, that was the least amount of time I've lasted.
Impressive. I will try to get to a safe place after killing the Seraph. Oh, thank God.
Long. Okay. I like how they're just targeting me. Enemies nearby and no duh. Flying straight down.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of X4. I've been like really into.
Is this where the checkpoint was? Oh,
yeah.
Terrible.
You dying is the checkpoint. Does the super carrier count as an enemy? Can I spawn you near it? Ah! We did it.
Finally, oh my god.
Analyze all available data on that Corvette. Find a way inside.
Scans indicate a structural weakness surrounding a platform on top of the vessel.
Noble 6, set down immediately on that Corvette's topside landing pad.
Okay.
Yo. Alright, let's just hang out on top of this,
While we pull up the best video on the internet.
Yes.
The most fantastical video.
Noble 6, the Savannah's countermeasures won't work forever. Find a way inside and permanently disable that cruiser's communications. As soon as we're sure the Corvette can't squawk, we'll initiate Uppercut Phase 2.
It's bouncy out here.
Indeed.
Wait, are these guys just living without...
What do you mean, like the Marines?
Are these... Oh no, okay, they have help.
There's a reason why it's vacuum sealed.
I was hoping so, because I was like looking at them and it looked like their regular helmet, because it's just like a slight face mask and a slight face shield. Otherwise it's basically their helmet. And I'm like, oh, they're dying.
Yeah. Alright, hang on, let me pull up let me pull up the best bit online.
Fantastic.
Hang on, I gotta change the window capture to this, okay. Just letting everybody know, this is from Gavin Wolf Wizard. and I have his consent to play it on stream. Don't be mad. I like the character. Yeah, it loops. No, get the copy video address off of my screen. You know what? I can't even click on it. No. But yeah, I assume this is your character, but I like the animation of it talking. That's cool. It's very cute. Also, the okay, yeah, no, it's Twitter quality. Thank you, Twitter. Thank you, Twitter, for having the best video player ever. Let's take a frame-by-frame look at what's at play here. A little bit of cropping. I will say that the effect on the guy in the background, the audio effect of on that laugh, it sounds like it sounds like an actual like NPC that you'd hear in like if you had a main character die. Like if you died and it showed that you died screen, like in an old Mario game, I think it's like Bowser's laugh. I think that's pretty close. Totally, we're looking at a video that Gavin made. This is a video review. Also, sorry, Racoon, I didn't really think about how you would see this.
I have not seen it at all. And the Marines have recently jumped down to fight.
Let's get that slip space bomb on board.
So, well, considering an elite just came up here, I don't know if they're doing fine. In fact, I'm not doing fine. Thank God he jumped back down before killing you.
He killed me?
No, he killed me, and then jumped back down before killing you. He was like shooting at you and fell down. And so I could respawn. And take back up my guard post.
Yeah, flying text is wacky. I'm big on text animation. I love text animation. But it's like super weird because no program like wants you to do it. They don't like it.
They don't like it. It's bad.
I think, for example, if we open up one of mine, that I have, I still have the Vsauce video. How many holes were you sitting on the toilet? I gotta find it because like I have a very similar effect going on to your thing. I have two. I guess I'll pull both up. By the way, check me out at youtube.com/.
Don't you just have like cards with your links?
I think so, yeah.
That's probably the most helpful.
Yeah, probably. But here, we'll look at a couple. If you know, hang on. If you know like Soviet Womble and like his style, I wanted to do one of those, and it took me like 8 years, but I made one. And that was like a lot of text animation in Premiere Pro, which is awful, by the way. Never do text animation in Premiere Pro. Okay, well, Soviet Womble's pretty good. His stuff is like a lot of text animation. And I'll show a couple snippets of this because this is like a 5-minute video. Oh my god, I sound so young. But as you can see, there's every single part of the tracking here is frame by frame, which was very smart by me, because it meant I had to, every single frame, I had to move the text subtly to match the head movement or something of the sort. And so when it plays slowly, you know, it gives that effect. I love the guy screaming, flying in. It's my favorite. It's the best part of the video. And then for a thing that's similar to the thing that you did, I have this part. Oh, hang on. There's context required. So, let somebody walk in. Anyway, so, you know, I don't know. I sound different. This is, hang on. What year was this? Where's the upload date? This was 2020. I have like, I think my voice just continued to drop or something. This was me at almost 20 years old. I'm 19 in this video. Yes, and I have such a nasally voice, it sounds so bad. No. This is the same mic.
Noble 5? Meet him there.
I have had this mic for, I think, like 4 years. Speaking of, this is a video at the same time, 2020. I think shortly after, this is me doing more Premiere Pro animation, also with camera movement text and whatnot. Very cringy looking back at it now, but, you know, it's one of those. And that one, this one's dumb because like I could have sounded way less like a child, but like it was funny that you know, these kids were very angry. They were so bad. But the animation of the zoom in with the text shaking, and coming in with like syllables, that took me. That was like this is like the first time that I'd done that. And I did this in Premiere Pro, so every shake is done again by hand. Awful. Took me forever. But like I think the fluidity of the movement is like one of those things where once you do it, you're like, damn, love that. Really sells this dude's like rage. So that's one of my favorite editing things that I've done, and that's very, I would say that's very close to like, you know, having the text fly around the screen with like a flipping the scene. I prefer having like no black borders when I'm showing stuff like in whatever, and so you know whenever I would be showing like a clip, or like when I'm editing a clip, I usually use like some sort of thing where it flips the image so it's not like as noticeable. I think I've done that in a couple. But in case you're wondering, in case you were curious about what Beautiful Boy is, and this is totally gonna get the VOD copyright claimed or something, but Gavin, here it is in case you're wondering.
It's the best video on there, no?
Oh, you saw it? Oh, okay. Too bad we're watching it again. Like 80% of my channel is like private, by the way, because they're all old PS4 videos that I hate. I hate them all. Half the views are his, yeah, half of them are mine.
The other half are mine.
There's a whole bunch. So all of these videos in like the past year are super different. I have like the meme thing where we zoom in on text. I have a music album that I made for some reason. Podcast, Cursed Halo video. That's like the closest to like a YouTube video that you'd see from like a pseudo commentary channel, I guess, or I guess more of a video presentation. Like these 5 videos are completely different styles. One's a fan cam. I have one that's synced to music. I did a lot of sync to music stuff, but this is like probably one of the better ones, and it's like a shitty, it's like a super annoying song too. But like I have like years of editing, and like all of it is like either recently it's like I think they're pretty all right, and then if you go back even further, they just get worse. They get so bad. You sort of get the vibe on that one. That one, I enjoy that one a lot. Tarkov is great. And then I have like 3 meme videos that are literally edited to be. If you've ever seen one of those like meme compilations, or not meme compilations, but like something like a game.exe or how to something, I have this, which is the closest thing I've made to like a fully edited video, I think. Like a montage. Again, I'm not going to show too much of it. I do want to get back to Halo eventually. Sorry, Racoon.
Don't worry, I stuck you in a corner and I'm just playing through the level. Very slowly, as I am bad at this game. Oh no, the grunts are pushing. This could be a problem.
Literally, this is so dumb to watch back, too. Like, I remember every part of making it. I would make it so differently now. But I love it. Like, so much of it is just zooming in on a static image, too. Like, I just do that so often. But yeah, I was really proud of this one. I loved it. I was super proud of the transitions. And this moment in particular is like my personal favorite of the video, and it's so small. Thank you. Such a 2015 video. I made this in 2019. I was freshly in my 19s.
Freshly in my 19s.
Yeah. My multiple 19s that I have.
Yeah.
But so this is like one of my favorite parts of the, a lot of my favorite parts are the transitions. And so I have this spin that turns into the scope. Love that one so much. Because to me, it looks so good, even still. This one where the camera goes up, also pretty, like, I don't think I've ever done a wipe transition as good as this one since. I don't know what I did in particular, but like the way that it goes up into the clip is pretty solid. But then my favorite part, none of that actually, it's me taking, when I was editing this clip, because it landed perfectly on this point, where I smack this mag on the beat of the song, and I was like, oh, I have to do that every time now. So I took a clip of it and overlaid it really like low transparency, and so on every beat there's the guy smacking the mag, and it sounds so cool. And it's my favorite part of the entire thing. I love it so much. And there's a, it's basically just 4 minutes of crack. It took me like 3 weeks because it was the first, it's sort of the first time that I'd made anything like it. I think it was technically the second project, but the first one that was like a montage. I have a separate one that I never finished for Destiny 2, and Racoon, you might actually really like it.
Oh boy.
I just have to remember what folder it's in.
6, go for those shield controls. I need in.
Because it's just on my computer somewhere.
It just exists.
Yeah. I think it might be in like my documents folder of all places. In Adobe. No, it's not in here. No. I found it ages ago, and I hate that I have to find it again now, because I forget what I called it. I know like part of it, I think it used full cut, or full. I know it starts with like Destiny, or something like that. How did I find it before? I like... Oh, I probably have montage in the title. Okay, Destiny montage. Did I call it Destiny montage? It's probably just montage. Again, it's like... It is so old at this point that it is hidden under like 8 folders of video. And this was when I was into video editing. Then I got into like 3D animation, and I made a whole bunch of like first-person view model things for a bit. Racoon, what are you up to?
Well, I cleared out the first 2 rooms.
I'm so proud of you, buddy.
And now we have to press a button, and I was waiting for you. But I do have to sleep after this level.
Do you want to see the Destiny 2 montage?
I do have your stream open for this one.
Okay.
But if you can't find it, then
No,
you can...
I know it's in my computer still.
I know it's in my computer. I just have to search through every file.
I think I actually... Yes, I found it. Oh my god. Oh, it's beautiful. Hang on.
Alright.
Okay, it's here. It's finally here. Are you ready?
Yes.
I'm only gonna play like the first minute because it's the only part that's fully edited. And we begin. So that's the first minute, and I have like another bit later. And then that's it for that. But that's like that's one of my favorite things that I was ever editing. And then I got busy with other shit, and then I just never managed to get, you know, what I needed to finish it. So I didn't.
Fantastic.
Honestly, I still kind of wonder, like, what it would have been like, you know?
Well, I had never seen the Dead Man's Tell quest, so that was pretty neat to see.
Yeah. I like the Dead Man's Tell quest. Alright, anyway, back to Halo. You know, the game we're playing.
Well, welcome to Halo. This is the first room. This is where I might have used your body as a shield.
I've noticed all the dead guys.
Yeah, they all died. Once I was able to get a Covenant, I guess I would call this like their battle rifle. It was fine, but until then, it was very hard to fight them. Because I am a dumbass.
I get you. Yes, I don't really ever get an opportunity to show somebody like entirely shit. Because most of the people that I know I've known for years at this point. They already know.
Copy that. 6. Get your fire
team to the bridge. I made it.
The Corvette's refueling run with the super carrier.
My fire team is dead, sir.
Yes, sir.
They've jumped down to their deaths.
Discourage the curious.
My pleasure. Hear that, Lieutenant?
I do like how only in the cutscenes do we have a re-entry unit on our back.
Wait, what?
We have like a thing on our back for re-entry.
Ah. Perfect.
6, get that Corvette moving toward the super carrier. Head for the bridge. Find the nav controls.
Got plenty of arms and ammo.
We don't need it. I don't need jetpack. That's for losers. Where the fuck? Ammunition.
Oh, I missed. Easy.
What? Like, thank you.
There was a time where
Copy, Savannah.
I think
Our
me and my friends had wanted to like go professional in like some game. I think originally it was Rocket League, then it was like Siege, and then we were like, what if we like didn't do that actually? So that was also a possible maybe career path. Playing games competitively, kind of nerdy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, totally. I've known you for at least 5. I think I've known you since 2017.
6. Nothing we could do.
Noble, you're in deep with no cover. Get that Corvette moving and get the hell out of there.
I've known you for almost a quarter of my life.
It's like the bridge, Mark. Let's clear it out.
Nice. Me too. I've known Snopsy my entire life.
You've known me for like a year and a half.
Not even, bro.
Oh, kind of.
I joined after Christmas. So it's been half a year.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I haven't seen any of you people before. You people.
You assume I'm a person. When I, in fact, am a pancake. They have guns.
You are now friend.
You come to stream, you are now friend.
Hello, Gavin. Welcome to friendship.
Welcome to friendship. May I take your order? It better not be to leave. Because that's illegal. You cannot leave this friendship anymore.
Signed the contract.
Behind you is an invisible elite.
Oh. You neglected the sword.
I didn't know it had a sword. I saw invisibility, and that was all. I assumed there was a sword, but I had no PID.
Fair enough.
Did you get quieter?
Did I get quieter?
I don't know, maybe a little bit.
I'm not sure. I might have sunk down in my recliner a bit, because it's 1 AM.
Fair enough.
But otherwise, like I've said, my audio setup is not the best. mostly because I'm not an audiophile kind of person, so it's hard for...
Being an audiophile is way too expensive.
Yeah, like, but not at all. Like, I can perceive differences in audio, however, I don't know what to do to make better. I'm just like, ah, yes, I exist. I've never looked into it. Like, I could learn, and I want to learn. It's one of the things I want to do with streaming. Like, the rest of it is make better shit, but it's not yet.
That awkward moment when a set of best headphones ever made is like $15,000.
Bro, I bought like new earbuds that were like $200, and I was like, whoa, it had ANC. For the first time in my life, I've had ANC, and I was like, bro, this is fucking insane. I don't have to hear my fucking heater whenever I'm trying to listen to, you know, Lindsey Sterling.
See, I am very lucky with my audio setup, because, like, it's not the greatest. I do literally have a mic just in front of me on its own, like, on the stand it came with. But I am lucky that I got this mic, and that I found this mic, because it was only $150. It was as much as a Blue Yeti, but I think it sounds way better, and, like, works way better, and it's like a USB microphone. It's a USB condenser mic. And those are typically not, like, the best. They're serviceable. But I know, like, if I were to, like, upgrade my setup, it would be, like, a cool thing to invest in, like, better video making equipment. Because I know what I have is not, like, the best. It's more so serviceable. Honestly, I need a better computer, if I'm being honest. I just
yeah, same.
Honestly, in a different way. So, like, my computer is on its last leg, and it's kind of super old, and it does not have the space or the, like, power required to, like, be making, like, videos nowadays, or, like, even playing recent games. It really struggles.
Yeah, I got, like, a really good computer before college, because I needed it, for what I was doing, and I've upgraded it slowly over time, but, like, I neglected it for a long time while in college, because I just didn't have the money, or couldn't bring myself to upgrade it out of ease of use. But now that, like, I really want to, in, like, October, get a just dope-ass computer. Because, yeah, I feel it in... I play every single game lowest settings. And, like, even while streaming, like, even though I do that, sometimes it's, like, laggy.
That's why I love Halo. I could play it at the max settings.
Bro, that's why I love Halo, because it runs at fucking 60 instead of, you know, well, I shouldn't say. It doesn't just run at 60. I can run it at 60 and stream it at 60 at the same time without either having major hitches.
Like, the thing that's funny, though, like, Halo... I think Halo Reach and 3 both run it, like, on my computer. Being not like a middle of the road computer, it still runs at like 300 FPS. It was just great.
Yeah, I have a 240 hertz monitor, because I used to play CS:GO like a nerd, and I just strive for the day that I get a new computer and can actually use the 240 hertz for something other than CS:GO.
Distance is closing on this vessel's refueling track with a
CS:GO is the only fucking game that can use it.
Imagine playing CS:GO in...
It's gonna be like mine.
Imagine like putting over 1,000 hours in CS:GO over the course of like 2017 to 2021 or 2020. Like 3 years, that was basically it.
At current velocity, 53 seconds to end point.
Gonna hop in, check.
Bad news is, time is fried. I'm gonna have to fire it manually.
Oh, well, thank you
That's
so much.
a one-way trip.
We'll make it sooner or
It's been
later.
very pleasant having you here, Gavin.
Better get going, Six. They're gonna need you down there.
Now, don't
Listen,
slight me.
Reach
or you're
has
on
been
thin
good to me.
ice.
Time has come to return the favor.
I've only had 60 hertz monitors. I got a gaming laptop with a 144 hertz screen, and it was so weird. I have an 165 hertz monitor.
Big man.
And that's only because it was cheaper than the 144 hertz alternatives. And the 120 ones. I was looking at the 120 hertz monitors, and I found a 165 one because it overclocks. For some reason, it overclocks. And it was like a way better price. It was on sale too. So I have 165, but the thing that sucks is like almost no games get up to that. I can get up to 120 maybe in older games, like and like 60 in recent ones. Some depending on if DLSS works or not, I can get up to maybe 90 on recent titles. But like I have to run basically most of everything or high. I can run Arma and Ultra.
Slip space rupture detected.
Yeah.
Slip space rupture
my 1080 died recently, and I had to get 6600 XT, but now like my CPU, an old i7 7700K, is just perishing if I stream. It's just crying for help.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hopefully, I'm hoping if I get a new computer, that I'll just make this one into a NAS / like streaming computer. So that like things are a bit more differentiated, I guess. Because currently I use like a really old, like big ass like rack mount server as my NAS, and that sucks, cause it's a big ass rack mount server, and has a fuck ton of like RAM power behind it, but I just currently use it for a NAS instead of like a programming computer, or well, not programming, but like for running programs. Yeah, I'd like to be able to do that with it again.
Three monitors might be a little bit overkill. I know it is for me because I don't have a big desk. So, like, I have two, and one of them is like a really old curved monitor that I had when I was like 17, like 72 FPS or 72 hertz. But it's just like a 1080p one. I like it though. It's kind of it's old and cute. Very
I have three, but my third one I keep turned off because it's a 4K monitor, and it would if I turn it on, nothing else, like I can basically just watch YouTube, and that's it.
Brick your computer.
Yeah, that's what it basically does. Because like I had a 1080, and now I have a 6600, and it's like if I try to play a game and watch YouTube on it at the same time, it don't work. So that's kind of another reason I'm excited, because I've never experienced like a game in 4K, which I could with that.
I've been wanting to experience like
evacuation will commence ASAP.
Like an OLED screen, like a 4K 60 OLED
tower pad is green.
Screen.
Let's move these civilians before it changes.
Like I've only ever seen like 4K TVs. Like when I went to Best Buy, and like I think in our living room we have one. But like I think their QD OLED is like the newer technology that's coming out. for computer monitors. I want to get one. I want to see what that's like.
Yeah, so the very newest is QD OLED, which is quantum dot, which is supposedly going to be pretty lit. So yeah,
Well, from what I've seen and what I can tell, and like what I researched, it's one of those things where everybody agrees like that's sort of the future. Like there's no downsides really to it, other than I think brightness. Maybe? I'm not sure. It's not like that much of a downgrade. Like there's not that many downsides with regards to like the quality of the picture.
I think the only problem is burn-in.
Burn-in?
Which is normal like OLED thing. Thank you for smacking me.
So, I thought that was the point of the QD OLED, was that it fixed burn-in. Sort of, for the most part, it's not as, to get the same level of brightness, it's not putting as much voltage through the monitor.
Nah, I think for the QD OLED fixes the issue of like one cost of like micro dot, which was the other new thing, and also fixes the issue of regular OLED of refresh rate, I think. So like regular OLED couldn't be used for high refresh rate gaming. But QD apparently, yeah, it's been a while since I researched it, but it's.
From what I remember, QD OLED doesn't have like an increased amount of burn-in.
It's not increased, but it's like the same problem as OLED. But burn-in literally just happens if you have the same shit on your screen all the time. Because I accidentally burnt in an old CRT TV that we have in my basement for... My basement is like kind of used to be a movie room, but it had an old CRT TV that's like 40 inches. And like we didn't keep it as a movie room, we just kept it as like kind of entertainment room-ish. But I burnt in like the YouTube the YouTube like scrubber is burnt in to that TV.
On my phone, I have... Okay, so I didn't used to clear notifications that much. On my phone, I have a set of 6 or so Discord notifications that are burnt in forever at the top of my screen.
Fantastic.
That and the bottom of my screen is like also, or top left of my screen is like the little green line part of Discord. I looked at Discord a lot over my time.
Over my time on this earth, I looked at Discord quite a bit. I was what you call a browser of Discord.
Picked up a friendly. Okay.
The brute smack heard.
How long have you had that phone for? I've had my phone for like 6 years.
Oof. I mean, if it's still working, I always had. It's not. Is it an iPhone?
Actually, wait, no, I have to check because I got it when it came out. And it's the Note 9, so it might have actually been 2019. I keep thinking it's 2017, but I remember.
Elevator in the atrium goes down to the cargo port. Cargo port goes to the tower.
Gotta get in there.
Whoa! Contact! From the west!
Oh, okay, no, it came out in 2018. Okay. So I've had my phone for 4 years almost. Actually, over 4 years.
I used to always have iPhones, and they would always die, like, in 2 years-ish. And so this latest time, because I actually had to pay for my own phone for once, I got not an iPhone, and I've been, like, so much happier with it.
The moment I had to pay for my own phone, I said I didn't sense.
Yeah. That's fair. For me, it was basically like I had to pay for my own phone, but then it was like nearing the end of like me going to college, and then my dad basically just said, it's now part of your rent, and he like basically lumps every cost that like he has towards me into my rent, and it's highly weighed into my favor. So I don't mind it one bit, because like I don't pay for, like, we share a credit card for gas, so he pays for that. You know, phone, electricity, food, water, bedding. Well, food I buy myself, but that's because he would buy me food if I ate food from the grocery store, but instead I just eat Subway every day because it's easier for calorie counting. Yeah. Yes. Bro, I would totally do it, except for the last part. Like, if they're like, yeah, you can do it, you know, you can be him, I'll be like, yeah, except for the last part of the contract, I'll be good.
The part of the con? I don't think
it was part of the contract.
Stay sharp.
I don't think anybody was forcing him to do that.
Drop ships. Deploying to the courtyards. Watch your flanks.
Oh god, I missed a lot of chat.
Oh.
I can't believe your phone is still working. Oh my god, same. I look at Discord and Telegram a lot. Oh, you fiend. You scoundrel. I hated iPhone, so I bought a different phone. That's most people that buy not iPhone. I know, well, I always started at Android and stayed at Android. I like it because I didn't like it's super customizable, but it doesn't have like any of the applications that I want.
Yeah, that was something I ran into. I won this like really old game that I remembered from like whenever I first got an iPod Touch, and I was like, oh, I want this game, went to go download it, and it was just like, no, it's not on Android. And I'm like, what? And it's just like, no, it's not on Android. It doesn't exist here.
I used what I would consider the precursor to Telegram. I used motherfucking Kick.
Bro, Kick.
That app was weird.
It was very weird. It was like good. And like extremely. Were you ever like into Clash of Clans?
No. I was more a Clash Royale.
So like I had a Clash of Clans clan that then like made everybody get in a Kick group in order to coordinate bullshit. And it was like the weirdest thing, because I was like, you know, not a child, but I was fairly young, and every motherfucker was like 20, 30, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Why? Why are you playing Clash of Clans?
Discord being new was like the weirdest. I did not expect Discord to become as big as it was when Discord like happened. But like I like didn't know that like the only alternative I knew was Skype, and I knew Skype was already going on the out. Like nobody fucking liked Skype, and so it was like TeamSpeak or bust.
Yeah, Skype or TeamSpeak was what we used to do, and it would always be like you would use TeamSpeak if like you were doing a server thing, which meant that you had to have somebody who at least was like somewhat of an adult to pay for such a thing. Sorry.
The funny thing is I know that the first time I had ever heard of Discord was when I met like everybody that I know today. Like I was like, the fuck is a Discord? I saw it in a YouTube description, and then I joined that server. That was the only server that I joined for a while. And I was like, I downloaded the app. I like made my own account. Like that was when I first heard of it, And then everybody that like I'm still friends with today, like through Discord, like I met them all in that one server. And it was super weird because that was the first time I'd heard of it. But I didn't know that Discord was like as big as it was, or as big as it was going to get. And the funny thing is, because like I used to come from, I came from console, so the way that I would talk to my friends was like PlayStation voice chat.
Yeah, it like back when it was first starting, I came from Xbox, so it was just Xbox group chat. You could only have like I think 8 motherfuckers. So if somebody cooler than you was going to play with them, you would get kicked from the party. Like it was always a fight over like who would be in the party. And it was like dumb shit. And then TeamSpeak happened for like Minecraft, and that was pretty neat. And then I'm pretty sure it was like through the TeamSpeak group that it was like, oh yeah, this like new thing, Discord is a thing, because we would use Skype. And then they were like, instead of Skype groups for everything, we're going to use... I think they first went to Slack. Like, that... Yeah, that shit. And then they were like, not Discord.
Was Slack always kind of like Discord? Or did they like change it to be more like Discord when Discord like was a thing?
By my understanding, it was always kind of like Discord. It was basically like the work version of Discord. And at the time, our TeamSpeak, it was like for running League of Legends tournaments. So it was like kind of, they wanted to be like kind of professional and shit. Which is why we use Slack. And then they're just like, Discord is way better. Just in general and way more used. So, yeah. I didn't like rehear of Slack until I like got into the professional world, and then COVID happened, and instantly like Slack was what every motherfucker was using.
I think even like from what I know, even jobs are moving from Slack towards Discord. Like,
some of them.
Job that I was working at, they were like talking about it.
Yeah, some of them do it. It depends on like the like how large the like shit is, because Slack is useful. But we use where I work basically everything, because it's, you know, tech. So they just like, depending who you are working with, you're using Teams, Slack, Skype, like a fuck ton of different things. Everybody just kind of uses what they think is best. So I think the only official ones are Teams and Skype for us, cause like Microsoft deal or some shit. But yeah, like it's not unheard of people using Discord instead, just because it is much better than Skype. It's much better than Zoom. It's better than like a ton of shit, and it's just consistent.
When I got into like
when I got into talking, when I was 3 years old and I began talking.
Like when the first mic I ever got was a really old Bluetooth over the ear, but it was like a tiny, like one of those things that you'd see that like some sort of business guy, like some sort of fancy business guy, like it just goes in his ear, like
yeah.
An earpiece. That was my mic. I had a really shitty not USB, really shitty Bluetooth mic that like connected to my PlayStation, and it was just over the ear. It was like it was a earpiece, and it sounded so bad. But like that was what I started with. And I think my second mic is the one that I've actually used the longest. Like, I've had this mic for a few years, but I got a Turtle Beach PLA mic, which was like it was headphones and then like a little headphone mic.
Yeah.
And it was plugged into the USB port on my PlayStation 3 through 4. And I even used it on PC for a bit until it broke. But I used that for, I think, like, it had to have been like 8 years before it, like, broke.
So I was with Xbox. So with the Xbox, I don't know if it came with the Xbox or if it was just like something that you had to buy separately, but Xbox like made. But it was just the like a little, I don't know, I would call it like
About the headset.
yeah. The one. Yeah, the on-ear that looks like you're part of a call center. Yeah. I had that, did that for a while till it broke. Bought Turtle Beaches, used that until they broke, and then I think after Turtle Beaches, oh no, I used the first one until I got Turtle Beaches because I was into Call of Duty and they told me that would make me better. So I used that until it broke, and then I went back to the old mic, and by then I was just like starting to get out of Xbox and onto PC. And so I think when I got my first like gaming, I guess my first full gaming stuff, it was like a Razer headset, maybe a Razer mouse at the time, and I got enough stuff where I got a lanyard from it, and I still to this day carry around like my keys on an old ass Razer lanyard. And it's the dumbest thing ever. My mom the other day, I was like going out with her, and she looked at it and she's like, "Take off before fight. Where'd you get that?" And I'm like, "Mom, I've literally had this since I was a child and didn't have keys. I don't know what you're thinking. I've had this on my keys forever." And I don't think I can ever use anything else, because you know what? It hasn't failed me yet. It is the only thing from Razer that I haven't had to replace. Oh, the headset broke after 2 or 3 years. My first mouse broke after a couple of years. My first keyboard from them broke after, I think 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
My old Turtle Beach PLA headset, I used it until the cups that would go over, like the little foam thing that went over your ears, broke off. And then I was still using it. Like, I was using it, like, with just, like, the plastic against my ear. It was awful. I basically, as soon as that happened...
Do you want the sniper rifle?
Sure.
Egg. I used my Razer until, like, the headband broke. And after that, the wires were, like, all sticking out. Please, live. Yeah, after that, all the wires were sticking out, and it, like, became unusable. God. And then I bought, like, a cheap HyperX, and basically the same thing happened.
I went from Logitech to Turtle Beach to Sadie's, and now I have an Audio-Technica AT2020.
For my headphones, I have, like, the Bear Dynamic, I think. And my mic is, I think it's also an AT2020, but it's XLR.
Ooh. See, I've never heard of the AT2020. Or Sadie's. I don't know what Sadie's is. Sadie's nuts. Hey.
Yeah, I had never heard of the AT2020 until I was like watching a Linus Tech Tips video, and they were like, yeah, this is like undoubtedly the best like thing, like starter quality microphone. And I'm like, that sounds like me, because I don't know how I'll feel about a standing microphone, and I've been using it for probably, actually, I think I got this, the mic had broken on it. Yeah, the head strap didn't break on the Hyperax. I remember the mic broke to where it basically had like it's one of those where you can put the microphone up next to your ear and it mutes it. But that part broke and basically would like, constantly emit like a high-pitched noise, like it would constantly give just feedback. So all my friends would hate me because like I couldn't hear it, but they all were just like dying, and I would be just like flipping the microphone back and forth trying to get it to stop. It was the like absolute worst. But
now that you said that, Gavin, I need to get like a sticker of my character and stick them on the side of my headset, because mine has like enough surface area for like a little sticker. That'd be so cool. But yeah, having a wolf logo, that's the price of admission right there.
Spartan. We'll hold this location. You get on that Falcon. Make sure those transports make it out in one piece.
I forgot neither of these had grenade launchers.
This is your ride, Spartan.
I'm actually surprised. So when I found my mic after like
City's been under siege for the last 5 days.
USB condenser
Thought we had it in hand.
microphones
and
for
those
like
Corvettes showed up.
3 weeks.
Our fleet's scattered. Pulling back.
And I discovered it like
we've
super
all got
like,
orders
randomly
to
on like a
evacuate.
website somewhere.
Yes, some of
and
us
then I was like,
just don't like
huh.
leaving a
And then I
job
looked it up.
finished.
And then there was a
Delta
YouTube
1-5 to
review on
evac
it,
dispatch.
comparing it to like
Loaded up, ready
a
to
whole bunch
go.
of other
Delta
mics.
1-5, this is evac dispatch. Copy
Just
that.
like something about
Proceed
it,
at your
and I
discretion.
loved it.
Midtown airspace is way too hot. Gonna take an
and
alternate route.
Delta 1-5 to dispatch.
Since it was only like 150, I was like,
taking fire.
comparing that to like the turtle,
Mayday, Portington's hit. We're
comparing
going
that
in.
to the
I'm gonna try to set her
Eddie,
down.
I was like, I'm kind of like, I should probably get this one. And then ever since I got this one, I've had people ask me like what mic I have, like all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, wow, what mic you got? What mic do you have? I'm like, oh, it's the Samson G-Track Pro. And they're like, the fucking what? I'm like, yeah, the Samson G-Track Pro. So like for a starting mic, like it's way higher quality than you think.
Copy, Yankee Niner. Birds away.
Yep.
So that I did my own research on that one. There was no Linus. There was no Linus telling me for this.
There was no Linus. Now, I knew I wanted a XLR, but I didn't want to get like a Shure or something because I wasn't sure if I would, you know, enjoy that type of higher quality or get enough out of it.
XLR, but I can't afford XLR.
I wanted an XLR because I knew, like I did, like, it was called Sound and Lights in my high school, but, like, I did tech for shows and stuff. So I knew, one, how to operate it, two, the quality difference of it, like, in interference and stuff, and so I really wanted to, like, try it out for this. And I haven't had an issue. Like I said, I just need to dial it in and actually put work into it. Not that I haven't, but like it was like first time setup and then second time setup because the first time setup fucked up and whatever, but I haven't like re-upped my work into it. Yeah. No, I'm always impressed in like your quality. It's.
I did take a podcasting class.
It's like yours and Rush's. Like Rush 2. He uses an AT2020 like USB. And same shit. Like he just knows how to dial it. Make it sound good.
I dialed mine very specifically. It took me like I think a couple weeks to like really rock. And now the only thing that I need to ever adjust ever is like the mic volume. Because sometimes it's too loud, too quiet, like the day and like the environment.
Yeah, I really need to like, I still have the issue. I don't think it's like a mega issue, but I think we talked about this whenever we were like first talking, because I wanted to talk to you about like audio shit, because I was still setting up this mic, and I originally think I had it like below my monitor, above my keyboard, and you could hear like the keyboard clicks. And then you like told me, you showed me where you placed yours, and I was like, I don't think I can do that because like I didn't want to interfere with me seeing the screen. And so now I think I then put it like above my monitor, but then when I got my third monitor is above my primary monitor, so that could no longer be a thing. So right now it's like to the left of my monitor, and it's like been pretty good. I think like the main improvement would be I don't talk directly into my mic necessarily. I talk like sideways into it. Also, Tony, no, I have not.
I can't even fight these banshees. Oh, hello.
Well, I perished. I did perish.
I have multiple commercial craft loaded with civilians. I have got to get them out of the city. I need air support now. As soon as something frees up, you'll be the first.
Oh my god! Damn it!
Yankee Niners Echo Dispatch. Landing pad is clear. Send in the evac crew.
Like I was gonna respond to you saying something, and then, like I died.
And then you got nuked.
My brain also restarted the checkpoint.
Pleasure jumping with you.
Oopsies.
We'll hold this location. You get on that Falcon. Make sure those
but yeah, one thing that I can do.
This is your ride.
I save for recording because it's annoying as hell. But to get a better recording quality, I have a blanket always behind my chair.
Thought we had it in hand.
And this I learned from podcasting class, so I feel safe sharing it with everybody.
Hell, we've
it
all
was
got
really
orders
dumb.
to evacuate.
It made sense that it worked,
Yes,
but I hated that it worked.
Don't like leaving a job
I have a really
half-finished.
fuzzy, big, thick blanket, and I just drape it over my mic, or like over myself and my mic, and it gets rid of like sound reverberation and the openness of like my room, and so the sound of it is like way better.
Copy, Delta 1-5.
I have the blanket over my head.
He's sitting there just like in a cloak.
It's really goofy. So when I was taking my podcasting class, and that was one of the first things they told us, that they showed us how to do, was create a recording space. And I guess I'm sharing this information for free. I mean, I had to pay like $70 for that class. But like, you either create like a little box area, go into a closet full of clothes, or cover yourself in a blanket like a starting.
This is civilian transport 6 Echo 2. I need to go now, Sergeant Major.
Hold on, Echo 2.
Over dawn, I have
sort of like you have to sort of do that.
I have got to get
But
them
the
out
other
of the city.
methods
I need
involve
escort
actually
now.
having
As soon as
to
something frees up, you'll be the first to. Not good enough.
I've got 600 souls on board.
not loving the
I can't
Banshees,
wait
not
any
loving the
longer.
Banshees, not loving the
Negative,
Banshees. No,
Echo 2,
I can't. There we go. If I remember correctly, these Banshees just get emptied. They're like they spawn.
No, they're just leading us in. Well, there I go.
Bitch. I can't watch this.
Fox Actual. Should we send search and
I've
rescue
done that
birds?
before, but it gets too hot. Well, I live in Arizona. How do you think I feel? I should do that more, but I'm lazy. I learned about that as I was doing YouTube. I see.
Hey, there's my empty Falcon.
Sergeant Major Duval.
But that is like my tip to anybody doing
getting any
audio
worse, huh?
recording. Is
Coverage all over my missile batteries, and I got 5,000 civilians across the bay waiting for passage out.
Okay, that Banshee
I need you to arm those batteries, then fire those missiles.
if you want to like have like a
Corvette's been a pain in my ass for too damn long.
I don't know if you care like a lot about how you sound, that's probably like the way you're gonna get the fullest sound. Other than that, like for me, I kind of care about it for the style of videos that I make, other than if it's like gameplay recording. But usually if you just like stick to one style, you consistently do that. Like if I record with a blanket over my head, I have to do that the whole video. Otherwise it's like super obvious when I'm not doing it. But if you don't do it, then nobody has that preconceived notion of what you sound like with a blanket on your head. And so you free to just do whatever the hell you want. So, you know, make sure whatever your video you're making, just make it consistent.
This is where I die.
Hot zone's getting hotter.
Uh-oh.
There he goes. Yeah, I'm preparing myself for that day. Once this Warthog driver figures out how to go towards the thing. God, it's impressive how bad this AI is.
Driving AI has not been Halo's strong suit.
I'm taking notes over it.
Yeah, but like...
Yeah?
Why? You know, I understand what you said during ODST. You asked why I couldn't just sit still.
I'll get him. Cover me. Damn thing slipped into the shadow. I lost my target. Crawl back into its hole.
No, I don't drive this badly. I either drive straight into shit, or I attempt to stay back, and fail. Yeah, that's basically my two modes. I at least like choose one of the two that I want to do, and don't just like sit and chill in firing lines.
I mean, Gavin, you can add me on Discord. I probably won't. I don't talk that often. I mean, people know this. I am usually sleeping, or I don't respond for like hours regardless. I'm not super active on Discord. Unless it's in a voice chat, so. But I can give you my thing. I'm not super anal about people messaging me. Just don't make it weird, I guess. Don't send me like don't send me like a pic of the outside of your home and be like, how do you like my home address at this street? Because I know yours. Like, I'm just like, huh? Home review.
I got guys like you for a living.
Don't do that.
Keep coming. Somebody take that thing out. Plenty to go.
I have had somebody actually do that, unironically. I had somebody send me a picture of their house and say, like, how would you rate my house? Because I've seen yours and it's not very cool. I'm like, what?
Hold on. Hold up 1 minute.
What do you mean?
Was this just a random person, or?
No, it was like a random fucking chat. I don't think they knew who I was. I think they thought I was somebody else. But they messaged me on Discord in a server that I was in. And it was like, yeah, your home kind of sucks, but look at mine, it's so cool. They had like a 3-story fucking, like, they were standing in front of a 3-story thing. I don't think that it was their house, though.
That is highly likely.
They just wanted to threaten me.
Yep. You know, I would assume that too. Or they were trying to threaten whoever they were trying to threaten and not you.
Hey, I know where you live, but while I let you know where I live, I want you to know that I live in a place that's way cooler.
I just want you to I just want you to know that I know where you live, and it's kind of ratchet, bro. But look at my house.
Imagine flexing on a guy that you just doxed. Your house located on 1, 2, 3, 4 Wallaby Drive. Kinda sucky, bro.
Well, you gotta dox me like that.
Oh. Secretly to your home address.
Do you like it? Is it nice?
No. I'll send you a pic of my house to compare. Wanted to add you because I want to talk about other stuff. That's fine.
Fire those missiles. Sergeant Major, the Cubbies are almost
that reminds me of that pic where it's like the docs are finding out my address, me knowing my address for my whole life. Yeah, I'm surprised. I don't know what they think they're doing there. Like,
they send you your address, you're like, yeah, I already knew this, idiot.
Like, I have those numbers memorized. I didn't need a fucking picture.
I grew up there, bro.
I think that's actually like, that's like the main thing that I'm like, that is scary to me about like online presence. Now is the idea that anybody can just like somehow, through some means, they will somehow find like my home address and will like just be like, hey, anybody wants to just
hey, what's
everybody wants to murder this like dude in this family.
Defense online.
Here's
Only back transports. You are cleared for takeoff. Repeat, you are cleared for
yeah,
takeoff.
I think like the thing that keeps me like fine fine with that fact is basically that like that is already how shit worked. Like, if somebody takes me, a random dude on the internet, and says that is exactly like somebody taking me, a random dude who lives in a house, and doing that. Like, it's not like it's a secret that I live in a house.
We're getting nothing from George.
Where do you live? Next to my neighbor's house.
Next to my neighbor's house. Next to my house.
The last transport is away.
Alright. We're bringing you.
Where do you both live? In a neighborhood?
In a neighborhood. Where's that neighborhood? In a township.
In a city.
Ah, he used red smoke!
He's gonna get artillery.
He made the mistake. That will cost him dearly.
It's not a secret that I live in a house. Damn, I thought you lived in a tree or some shit like that.
Bro, that would be lit. Alright. I think that was the last one for tonight.
Okay. This is so sad.
This is so sad.
What am I going to tell all of my viewers?
Destiny, please play Arugula.
Destiny.
Destiny.
Like the game?
No, like no, like the little pods in that one game. Imagine somebody just playing Destiny and calling the ghosts Destiny. Yeah, that's the name of the ghost. The lady's name in Halo is Halo, right?
One of my favorite things that people do about like naming in like naming memes, yeah, is first name of character, last name is game name. So you have John Halo, and then like that's like the one that I love. Like that's like my favorite. And then there's like a whole bunch of different ones that are kind of goofy.
The Covenant are jamming all comms to command.
It doesn't work.
Cat needs your help running a counter.
Characters that are like the name of the game. Like you can't
Good to have you
Crash
back.
Bandicoot's name, otherwise that's Crash.
Sorry I
Crash
came
Bandicoot.
alone. Make him
You know what I'm
proud.
saying?
Yeah.
But like Steve Minecraft is great. Love Steve Minecraft.
Put your wings back on, Lieutenant. You're flying.
Oh
this
wait, you
Falcon.
know what? Before you leave, we have to jump off the platform
Here's the
and get a
situation.
Banshee.
Covenant have deployed multiple
like
long-range
part of the rite of
comm jammers
passage
in
of
high
Fallout
rises
with this.
across the city. We can't hear Holland,
like a
and he
Banshee
can't
will
hear
fly
us.
over eventually.
We're totally cut off. Trooper squads have been trying to take the jammers out, but the coveys are dug in tight. When I confirm targets, I need you to hit them hard.
Huh? These don't exist.
They usually show up.
They should be here by now.
Here they come. Look, there's a phantom.
Ah, yes, I'm gonna steal the Phantom. Bye-bye.
Charlie 27
Sans
command.
Entertainment
Request immediate assistance.
Sans Undertale is great. I love how Sans became the main character of Undertale.
Us and the jammer.
Copy 2-7. Help is on the way. Noble 6, I'm sending you coordinates for the Viren Tower.
The
Go get
Megalovania
those troopers
thing got
unstuck.
like way bigger than than it probably should have.
Oh, and don't fall in love with my voice. The closer
Probably,
you get to
but
jammer,
also
the
that
worse
was
our
like
reception is going to get.
the first song that he ever made. Like he made Megalovania whenever he made his what is that game called? Earthbound. Yeah, it was an Earthbound Halloween mod, and he made Megalovania for that, and then brought it back for Undertale.
Why are there no banshees? There's usually banshees.
They took them
Hate
out.
this. They took away my banshees. Keeps giving us a checkpoint though. That's funny.
We're going to find the
Yo,
banshees.
do I have walkable moving objects on?
We're going to find the banshees.
Yeah, get in there.
I made the gotcha. We got enough to worry about out here. And he's just posing to the floor. Why did
I did it.
That's not where I thought it would spawn me. Alright.
I jumped out of the Falcon and jumped back in and spawned you on it.
Oh my god.
Beautiful.
Look at that, we only got like 4 missions left.
Nice. And then we can play the one that I've never played.
What one have you never played?
Halo 4.
Oh.
I stopped at Reach.
Fair enough. I mean, I stopped at Halo 4. I've never played Halo 5. And I don't really want to be honest.
It's okay. After this, we can go to Gears of War.
Oh, finally. Do we ever finish Gears 5?
No. Not at all. Not.
To like the last half of the game and then we just stop.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Awesome.
We got to like, I think the final revelation. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure that desert area, because I think we stopped as soon as we got to the desert.
Yeah.
Is like the halfway point of the entire game. And we just stopped there.
Yep.
So cool. Love that.
Fantastic.
Alright, well, Gavin, it's been a pleasure. And everybody else that was here, also been a pleasure. It was very fun. I will be seeing you guys later. Probably just in the video video form, my sweet succulent voice playing pre-recorded. Yes, it was very nice to meet you too. As for Racoon, the next time you guys will probably see him is maybe stream, maybe more Halo. Who knows? He's a wild card.
I'm streaming Op on Wednesday, and I stream every day, so.
Streams every day. Check him out at the twitch.tv. No, never mind. He does it on YouTube. youtube.com/ whatever your channel is. What? I closed my game and it like crashed after I closed it.
Fantastic.
All right. Well, have a good night, Racoon, and have a good night, everybody else. Bye bye.
Bye bye.